Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Swim or Sink. This is Swim or Sink 225 and not the Popcast. And I'm Frostix and I'm joined with the lovely Rose of Battle, and we're witnessing 3 degrees versus bomblobber. Semantics don't matter. Rose, how are you doing on this fine Wednesday evening?
I'm good. I could have sworn you were about to do the hello friends lead straight into that.
I was watching. I was trying to reference the last Popcast episode to try and copy it down, but we ran out of time.
Yes, we are headed into our first streamed match for Swim or Sink 225. And I know you had some things to say about 3 degrees before we went live.
Yes, indeed. I know a lot of the members of 3 degrees because we kind of started in terms of at least two of them, Goliath and Winry. We both we all kind of started comp from the SBA. Specifically, Goliath is from my season, but also kind of fun Frostix lore. Riv stole me and Winry to fight the Whip Rays. That was fun. They kind of left out of nowhere. There's okay, we're done, and it's okay, thanks guys.
Yeah, this time they have Genby, who's going to be their fourth. Genby is the captain of Floral Green and is likely going to be playing one of the buckets, probably a slosher or a tri-slosher. Really, out of all the team names, as I was quickly scrolling through, I do think these two have some of my favorite team names that we see this week. Of course, 3 degrees. My spouse actually has a tattoo on his arm that is just 3.
That's amazing.
I'm gonna have to show him this. And of course, bomblobber, whatever we want to call them. We've got Noodles from Jelly Squids, who I know, and we've also got a member of Delicious Steak Dinner on the Bloblobber, which I guess, for all intents and purposes, is going to be a bomblobber this time around.
Yeah, and we're already seeing a clash of brushes here. Ray with the ink brush and Goliath on their signature Comet's Octobrush. That is a menace to face off. And already the junior will be going down first as 3 degrees takes first point. 2 members down as the brush goes down second, and Goliath is immediately sending it straight here. They're already taking a lot of chip damage though, and they go down.
The rain's coming out from that bomblobber. And it might not be raining bombs, but it is raining some ink. That is going to be very, very important, of course, for the objective in Splatoon, but also helping to get some members in. However, we've got the junior going down again on bomblobber. They're really struggling to get in here. Ray's going to use that stamp trying to get in, but that is somehow going to survive just barely to those 3 hands slapping down from the triple splashdown. That is, fortunately for bomblobber, going to be cap of that zone, which is going to flip back, but at least giving them a little bit of time to stop that timer counting down.
That they do. Applying 42 penalty points to 3 degrees is nothing to scoff at. Now they need to basically clear their own points and then some. But right now, 3 degrees are starting to regroup and mounting an attack. That being said, the brush on bomblobber does have a hammer ready to go. But now we're seeing the sodas being deployed by 3 degrees. Here comes the hammer from the brush, but it gets canceled out, trading out both brushes as the rest of 3 degrees reflip that zone. Here comes a trip splashdown from Silver, and now moving in to get rid of Bovis. They're holding this stack with an iron grip.
You could already see they're setting up. They have some very strong weapons here for camping these ledges. Genby on that tri-slosher does get taken out there, just too much happening at them at this point, but Goliath is set up to protect that left drop, and Silver going down in a trade, but a really nice trade that has really slowed down the push from bomblobber. They're having a hard time getting in. We are about to hit 20 units remaining on that zone. It's going back and forth. That hammer is going to be huge. Just barely able to cap that zone in time, but not able to stay alive. Goliath was hungry for more.
So proactive, says Goliath here. And 2 members were down on bomblobber. We're seeing the blob trying to keep things alive before they go down to Silverness. And now 3 degrees will immediately recap that zone. And Silver's already trying to get their triple splashdown ready, lest the horses start flying in. And that horse's name is Ray here. And we're already seeing some Rat Control trying to ensure that the brush doesn't get too far into the flank here. The zone is now in yellow. Here comes the hammer from Ray. Will it be thrown? Will it connect? Yes, it will connect onto Riv, as bomblobber is now closing out of their penalty. But they have 2 members down here, and they're starting to back up as Colin 3 Degrees will flip that zone once more.
Oh, make that a couple more members going down here. Gen B managing to stay alive just barely, setting this up for Colin 3 Degrees to chew through the rest of their penalty points, which will happen in not too much longer. The brush has that special ready. It's gonna get it going now. All the specials are coming out at this point. Glyce is holding this down, making sure to trying to at least stave them off for now. They only got down to 23 points remaining on that objective timer, but still, members of bomblobber, even if they've been able to cap the zone, they haven't been able to hold it for very long. That's gonna make it so difficult for them to get the lead here.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, Colin 3 Degrees, all they really need to do is just consistently flip, consistently trade here. They can afford to pull these trades off, especially since they're this deep into their points, and they're already starting to count down once again. Goliath claiming Ray in that brush engagement, activating their flow state, getting rid of the brush, not the brush, but the junior as well here, and they're popping their Kraken to potentially go for more. They take down the blob, the second junior, and that will be the knockout for Colin 3 Degrees.
bomblobber summoned the rain, but it was just not enough to cap that zone with that time. You can see the little bits of it on that zone, but not enough to neutralize that, much less flip it. That was, that was an interesting comp coming out from bomblobber. That was a lot of painting power. Of course, we've got the junior lobbing bombs. We've got the bomblobber lobbing blobs. Say that 3 times fast.
Junior bobbing. Oh, I already messed up. You got me. My tongue is twisted, and we are getting set for game 2. Welcome to Rainmaker Manta Maria. This is a little bit of a... I'm not sure if it's a diamond in the rough. It could be a little bit of a quartz in the rough.
This map mode for me is just a block of coal. I don't like it. It's a rough one. It's fun to spectate, though. I will say it is super fun to be on this side of Manta Maria Rainmaker, because it's interesting because Rainmaker as a mode tends to be, it can be over in a flash. And Manta Maria is such a large stage, so you think that, oh well, you have a long way to go, but. Yeah, distance doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot in Rainmaker.
Yeah, like especially when it comes down to Manta Maria, which can have like some really pivotal skips. If you can basically get that push by going through the jump on the right side here, and then if you can barrel through forward, that's really a straight line from mid to the final checkpoint. Yeah,
and as soon as you drop that Rainmaker into the enemy's court leading up to their spawn to that final goal, you make that drop and you already get a bunch of points off of that.
And then you can really you can get like a lot of good solid momentum just in your favor here. If you can make that jump, a lot of momentum will be swinging in your favor. And let's get into it.
And we'll see if anybody's going to change up the weapons that they're using. Noodles definitely doing that switch over to the 52 gal. But you got silver on that gal. We're going to have a gal versus gal battle going on, but otherwise not giant changes here. Still very much a skirmishy comp coming out from the side of bomblobber. Colin 3 Degrees is going to be a little bit more traditional. You've got your anchor, heavy splatling, of course, being very, very strong right now. But so far, things really turning out well for bomblobber. This is a scary place to be, though. Noodles not able to get that true dunk onto that checkpoint. So that is still not a check broken for bomblobber just yet. And all of a sudden, so much space is open for Colin 3 Degrees to start pushing this through. But no, the brush jumping down from nowhere off the side. Ray able to get the pick there. At this point, trying to get a cheeky point on that anchor. Not able to do so. Pulling out the stamp, getting one, but going down afterwards.
So right now, we're seeing Colon 3 Degrees trying to equalize right now. They did take down 2 earlier, the Brush, and now the Blob, which I will say is also the Kraken Blob. That is something that has been switched up. Speaking of Kraken, though, Goliath is sending it up to the bunker, taking the dive onto Bovis. They're taking down Bovis, and now Colon 3 Degrees. Riv is taking the jump here. They've immediately painted up the checkpoints, and they will take that early lead. Both Brushes are down. Same thing with the Bucket as well. It's right now, I think it's only Riv and Silverness. Riv's already jumped out. Silver is just lurking in streets, and right now bomblobber need to find a way to get this into mid and get a lot more mid in their control, because Colon 3 Degrees, they painted a lot of mid in their blue in the last couple of seconds.
They did, unfortunately. bomblobber not able to actually move that Rainmaker further, and look, we talked about that drop right here. Genby can manage to catch the ground, does not. So it's not going to be a huge point lead, but it's already down to 25. And 3 of them are still up. They're popping that shield. They're going to grab it. They touch base on that ground. It's already down to single digits in a flash. And I don't know, it might not be over.
Exactly, but there's still both Silverness and Riv left here. Goliath as well as the Bucket do go down, and what just happened?
Exactly.
It's like you said, Rose, in a flash. What happened?
Classic Manta Maria Rainmaker and classic sneaky Silver, I think it was.
It was Silverness. Oh, you sly dog. You caught me monologuing.
Yeah, that man, the pushes on Rainmaker at Manta Maria, I swear, I know my coach is always like, if you, like, please try to not force reset the Rainmaker to mid by jumping off with it, if you could help it. But on that map mode, I'm like, I really want to reset it. It's gonna take forever to get back to mid with this.
Yeah, the final checkpoint area in Manta Maria is like suspiciously wide, and considering that Silverness just kind of chilled in street for so long, they were just able to kind of like work their way around undetected. It's that one gift, they hid for 30 years, and then once, like, probably bomblobber thought that all the dust has settled, and then boom, a 52 comes in and gets the knockouts. We're now looking at the, we were looking at the results of Group A, but here is the replay now. The Rainmaker does go down, Goliath trying to also clear the board here. Both Riv as well as the Bucket go down, Goliath goes down. Right now it's only Riv and Silverness. We can't even spot Silver on the map, but they were basically within Goliath's Kraken trail, and that's how they were able to get that Rainmaker slam.
They're just sneaky right there. And the second bomblobber took their sights off of that Rainmaker after it was popped so close to the goal, that was just, you never want to do that if you can help it.
So that is round 1, at least from like some people from Group A. We're seeing the rest of the teams here: Twin Turbo, Colon 3 Degrees, bomblobber.
Yeah, looking at the rest of the bracket here, we've got several teams that are wrapping up their first sets, a few others that are into their second games, and these are best of 3 matches, so maximum of 3 games, but often ends up, we often see 2-0s at this stage in groups, where it's just everybody shaking up before they get into the brackets going ahead.
That's indeed, and the next couple, and like, since a lot of these matches are still kind of brewing over, the next matches aren't necessarily ready yet. So we'll go to a little bit of a break. We're going to see Pikman, Gang, and Primordial up next.
Hello and welcome back. We are here now after a bit of a break with our second round here in Swimmer Sync, week 225. I am Rose, joined by Frostix yet again, and we're going to be looking at Pikman Gang versus Primordial.
Pikman Gang sporting Spara, Yoshi's, Rudy, and Hiro, and Primordial with Spider-Cat, Dees, and Fear. We Are the Champions has been subbed out for this one. We know this now thanks to the beautiful new to the new shiny coat of paint that Sendo.Inc. has received yet again. And funnily enough, this set took a little bit of time to complete that we almost contemplated streaming round 3 first. But we managed to we did make it in time to see round 2, and we're starting things off with ship-shape zones.
Ship-shape zones will be an interesting one. It's not a small zone. It's got a little bit of overhang from the wings on both sides. Retake can be quite obnoxious. Like, this can be a very, very lockout heavy map.
Yes. Ship shape is just, I think, the poster child of being locked out within Splatoon 3. Basically, it really just boils down to getting a really strong onto zone and then taking a lot of good positions forward. Like, just in court, on the grates, in the pit, if you have that kind of AoE. If you can pull that off, you can get that lockout started. And
Pikman Gang is a pickup of several competitive Splatoon players from France. So I think you might be a little bit more clued into the European scene than I am, Frostix.
Think a little. I do see a lot of Ink Souls Maria, and that is Yoshi's team on Pikman Gang. But we're going to be starting off the set hot. Welcome to Ship-Shape Cargo Co. Who will be locked out? Will a lockout even happen? Pikman Gang bringing out some pretty traditional comps here, and we're also seeing another pretty traditional comp, at least like from today's standards, on Primordial. They're running the backline leader, and they have Dropaholic on the Zap.
Yes, both teams, of course, having the Tacticooler here. It's just that the Tacticooler is on a backline for Pikman Gang, whereas we might have some very scrappy end zap action coming out from Primordial. I find it really interesting where we have the Snipe Rider set up right now starting to rotate around to pick off people on that left side. That is already 2 members down on Primordial, but 2 also going down on Pikman Gang. We've got our blasters just staring at each other, but with that triple slash down, that is just going to be one after the other. They are quite literally throwing hands at each other.
Yes, they are. And it's this triple splashdown from Kitty on Primordial, which will seal the deal and keep them on the countdown. That being said, Pikman Gang has triple ink strikes ready to roll, but it looks like they're already starting to get locked out a tad bit. Here come the strikes now from Yoshi's here. This won't put the zone to neutral, but 3 members of Primordial have gone down, and the rest of Pikman Gang are mobilizing. They have a set of splashdowns ready to strike, and they are probably getting geared up for the rest of their specials now.
Not dying to that bomb thrown onto the zone, but they are going to lose their blaster here. And those strikes that you mentioned are coming out now. They're not going to cap the zone, but they did manage to open up space a little bit. I would say this is still really, really strongly held down by Pikman Gang right here. Looking to get a flank going or just start picking some people off here. Is going to find themselves in a 1v2 or 3, but does take one down. And still managing to stay alive after that. But look at those points ticking down faster than 1 per second here, down to 23. It is a neutral right now. Is on there with, we've got the T-Tac. That blaster's gonna need some help to paint that zone though, because that is not gonna be enough. And see, still losing their painter here. The points are still going down. And I don't know, this could be ripe for the taking for Pikman Gang.
Yeah, they just have a lot of space here. They are losing the blaster, but they do have 3 members in. And here comes the splashdown from the custom blaster. It will put the zone into neutral. Primordial are able to flip the zone right in the nick of time, able to apply the penalty right when they needed to. And they take out the blaster in the pits here. We're seeing, can you regain the strikes? Here comes the wave breaker from the leader. That's a really nice spot to put that wave breaker in, but unfortunately, they're getting dropped by the Snipe Rider as the rest of Pikman Gang continue to mobilize. The shot's gone down, the bucket's gone down, the zap zap has gone down on Primordial. The strikes come out from Kitty, and the blaster is ledging their heart out, able to get rid of the pencil here. That splashdown won't put the zone into neutral just yet, but here comes now the Zuka from Pikman Gang, as well as the Tri-Strikes, retaking the zone in their favor.
Oh man, this looked like such a good setup for Primordial. Losing it there is gotta feel rough. So long as they keep numbers up here and don't take too many solo fights here, like we're gonna see that blaster going down here. That is an advantage for Pikman Gang. Currently a 2v2 situation, but you've been seeing their pencil has been setting up in such great spots to hold. And they're gonna start moving over to that left side. They've already got eyes on several people. The marks also being very, very helpful, knowing where to look. Again, going in, trying to get some flanks, but it's not going to pan out for them. We are almost through the penalty points for Pikman Gang, but that's still just in time, managing Dropaholic to put down enough paint to flip this back over. And now, that was 3 people down on Pikman Gang. So much space for Primordial to take with. Getting that pick on that splatter shot gonna be huge, but Yoshi coming in, getting a pick there. I don't know. This is anybody's game at this point.
Yeah, but that being said, it is 1 minute left here, and Primordial still have to work through around 20 penalty points if they want to start counting down, and already they go 2 members down, the leader as well as the blaster, as Pikman Gang have mobilized once again, and we're seeing the shots on Pikman Gang, a remnant of Topi-Toe propaganda for those who watched the paddling pool earlier, and they have their bazooka ready to rip here. They're already taking some shots onto the blaster. They're going down, consistently ensuring that Primordial is 2 or 3 members down. That's a very sound strat for Pikman Gang. There's going to be 30 seconds left on the clock, and Pikman Gang already has a set of GG strikes ready to go here. But here come a set of strikes now from Primordial. The splashdown comes out from the blaster on Pikman Gang, and the rest of Primordial are starting to mobilize now that they've gotten the pick on the pencil as well as the shot. The strikes come out from the bucket Yoshis, but once again, Primordial are able to flip it right before they can knock out Rose.
That was so close, and assuming that Primordial manages to maintain control of the zone, we will be entering overtime here in just a few seconds. Dropaholic does get a pick. They need to make sure that they have eyes on zone to make sure they keep the paint here. But look, that is a wipeout! An amazing time to get that wipeout. Those points are going down so fast. They have to get a knockout. The cooler is out for Primordial. The members of Pikman Gang want to come in. The strikes are coming out. They're being thrown. That is neutralized. The splashdown. That is down to 0. Primordial takes it in the end.
Oh, action! Just so much action from start to finish here. It seemed like Pikman Gang had that as soon as they threw out the strikes, but Primordial brings out the splashdown to neutralize any kind of paint that the triple ink strikes have in store. That's a very decisive game 1.
Yeah, that was hairy at the end on the side of Primordial. Those strikes coming out, and then with just special after special. But yeah, when you're Pikman Gang in that situation, it looked like they had such a strong hold over a lot of that game. All they really needed to do to win that was to make sure that they kept their numbers up, to make sure that they had enough people alive to stall out control of that zone. And even if they lose control of zone momentarily, even if it gets capped by Primordial, just knowing that, yeah, we have a lead here. We just need to make sure that we have strong positions and we don't go down here. But that wipeout on them really spelled, such a disaster. They had to commit everything to getting back in.
Yeah, and even when it looks like they had the methods to reflip that zone once again here, Primordial had the answer, and because they just had a lot of good momentum here, they kept probably their flow state. They already had a lot of good positioning from the last fight as well, and they were probably still on some kind of cooler buff from Dropaholic. They were just able to outmaneuver that entire messy overtime and take that reverse sweep. So that's game 1. Game 2 is going to be happening on Museum D'Alfonsino Clan Blitz.
Probably a fairly nice stage for both of these teams, having some really long-range chargers for both of them. I'm not sure if the pencil's going to switch to leader, or if they're both going to stick with what they have, the pencil for Pikman Gang, the leader for Primordial. But wow, what a charger's just fun time to play on this map.
Definitely so. The sight lines here, obviously you see a lot of pencil, but I think the sight lines are also a little bit more leader friendly. I've seen some leader on this map in the past, so I think that could be coming out from Era on Primordial. Let's see what is in store from Pikman Gang. The same stuff, and on Primordial, we're seeing the debut of Prozen.
It's got a strong special. This is the only shooter in Splatoon 3 that's got Tentamissiles.
It seems that they've learned their what went down back in the, I don't know, Prime 2019 with K-Shot.
No Kent splatter shot here.
Yeah, no K-Shot. We have Prozen in the big 2-6, and already here come the missiles. The shot has already gone down on Pikman Gang as the rest of Primordial are starting to charge through mid. They're receiving some resistance fire from Pikman Gang here, alongside they're just trying to take, or at least contest the ramp here. The shot has gone down, the zap has gone down, now the blaster's going down, and Awe is on an onslaught, getting rid of Yoshi's here, and Kitty's almost at a power clam, and they're already taking a lot of good positioning right now.
Yeah, at this point, we're not even a minute into the game. They don't need to score just yet. I think it's good to make sure that they're shoring up their resources to get a really good push when they go in, so they don't just throw in a power claim and then don't get anything else out of it. They are going to lose that power claim, though, unless Dropaholic can save this. That's in a really sticky situation. They do go down for it, but so does the Slosher. Oz trying to keep this alive. At this point, I'm wondering, is it even worth keeping this power claim alive, making sure that we want to keep members alive? But Kitty is starting to set up here, and Pikman Gang being down their pencil means that Primordial doesn't have to worry about those sightlines quite as much. They are going to start pushing in off of this. They are down one member, though, and still back and forth and back and forth. Nobody really able to get much of a push going at this point.
I feel like there was a window of opportunity that Primordial could have made, but I think that window closed a little bit too soon for them. And now they're back into this neutral state here. We're seeing the shot fire off their Zuka here. And we're seeing the splashdown come out, getting rid of Awe. And I think Pikman Gang, they're starting to realize that this is now their opportunity to start going in, taking mid, taking ramp as well, as we're seeing with the shot, but the shot getting punished, overextending. Same thing with the blaster, but they're still thriving. They're able to drop a holic before getting traded off by them as well. Oz also trying to move in, accompanied by these missiles from Kitty. And are we halfway through this match, Rose? No one scored.
Yeah, you might be mistaken that we might be playing deathmatch. We've had a lot of kills coming out, a lot of trades happening, but it hasn't been translating into anything on the objective. However, Hero getting a really nice direct there. A second one moving in is in Flow Aura. And still trying to push forward. You can tell that, wants the rest of the team to move in. But at this window of opportunity, I don't think it's fully shut, but it is not wide open like it could have been. Yoshi's not able to push in too much with that power claim now. And also losing the shot there means that they're going to have to start backing up, except the blaster Hero coming in to the save, taking out Dropaholic here. This could be a good chance to get scored in, but no, again, the Charger able to keep this going. Taupe is going to try to at least throw that in, does manage to get it, but the rest of the team is gone. That means that is a one and done throw, and Primordial is moving in fast.
Yes, that they are. We're already seeing Kitty move in. They've already gotten rid of Yoshi's. Same thing with Hero as well. It's a 2v2 scenario with Dropaholics and Era being alive on Primordial. We're seeing the leader already rally the rest of Primordial to the mid spinner. They're trying to find their moment. They need to find their opportunity in, and Dropaholic is in a bit of a pickle. They're able to move in and out of the plat spinner very effectively. But Pikman Gang has a Zuka ready to rip here, but Primordial has the missile. They also have the wave breaker, and Dropaholic is now moving in here alone for that matter, and they're unfortunately going down. The leader is able to get the clam in. They just need one more clam if they want to get the lead here, and I think Kitty's moving in. Here comes All with more. Here comes the splashdown. It will not claim any targets. This basket is still open. Dropaholic is now going to throw in one more to put the lead at 68. Will this pity clam be thrown in? Probably not, at least to just keep that power clam alive. They set the score, they set the lead now at 68 with 45 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, it's not going to take too much to overtake that lead. At this point, Primordial is going to want to make sure that they're holding very strong positions in the final 30 seconds to come. You already see Hero from Pikman game wants to start moving in with the rest of the team, start getting some picks in. They're trying to do so, but Dropaholic is going to take away their teammate. Hero just barely hanging alive. Oz going to take out the splatter shot. The triple splash down going to come out, but no, Hero is just barely all alone trying to stay alive. This is a bad spot to be in, and yet getting a pick there, but still, that was a lot of time spent on that, and Pikman gang was not able to take in a ton of space here, but they don't need too much to work with. They just need to not die here. Hey, but as I say that, they go down.
Overtime has begun, but that power clam is fading fast here. Yoshi's is trying to dive for it, and that, unfortunately, is the end of that game. Primordial, after just a very long while of no one scoring, Primordial takes the game in the set 2-0.
That was a low-scoring Clams game.
Man, yeah. Like, half of the match went by, and it was a dead heat neutral, basically. And then, I think, past that point here, we had just, like, little scores, and then maybe a kind of big score from Primordial, and then Pikman gang really trying to claw their way out here. You had Hero thriving and surviving in the bottom, the top left pit here, trying to at least hold the space when they're the last one left. But you get outnumbered, and you go down, and it's unfortunate. And now, that's round 2, all said and done.
Round 2 closing out in Group G does mean that Primordial and Pikman gang have now both gone 1 win and 1 loss. So it's going to be up to their round 3 against their other opponents in that group to figure out exactly who is going to shake out to which bracket out of this.
Yes. So round 3 is going to be a big one. Like you said, it's going to decide, it's basically like a seeding bracket. Who goes in Great White, Hammerhead, Mako, or Lantern bracket. So round 3 is pretty imminent, basically. I think it is just ready right now. Here is Christopher James Horse Kreider versus Reload.
I need to DM these players and be like, which of you came up with this?
How will we possibly be able? You know, I was gonna ask how will we be able to fire off 4 names within a short amount of time when calling out their name, but it's possible, I think.
The much shorter team name, Reload, of course, has really been sweeping their group.
Yes, they took a 2-0 against Game and Watch, and they take the 2-0 against the Whoopsies. And they are probably looking for their 3rd so that they have their tickets punched to Great White bracket. Meanwhile, the same thing can actually go for Christopher James Horse Kreider. They take the 2-0 against the Whoopsies, they take the 2-0 against Game and Watch, and pretty even. But I think this set will determine which one of these teams will take their first loss.
Whoever wins this match will determine who is going to Great White and who is going to go to Hammerhead. Right now, Reload, before having played out this match coming up, Reload did manage to get 4 knockouts. So all 4 of their games that they've played, they've knocked out. Christopher James Horse Kreider got 3 knockouts. So I think these are 2 very strong powerhouses going against one another.
And it's going to be going down on Zone's Barnacle. This is another sort of knockout lockout heavy map here. If you can basically take Plat, you'll be able to start taking Court a lot easier. Then when you take Court, that's when the lockout begins.
Yeah, and I will be interested to see exactly which weapons each member pulls out. I know Koraki for being a very aggressive blaster player, occasionally on NZAP as well. Actually, a fair amount on NZAP, being very aggressive.
Okay.
There is that Luna Blaster. Of course, Jesse going to be on the Bulb Stringer with the Inkjet. Echo playing out that sword I'm so used to seeing them play. And we've got a Dynamo from Safra.
And I'm more familiar, at least, with a lot of the people from Reload, and Gold is going for a little bit of a slightly lesser nonsense from the usual Bamboo I've been seeing him a lot on. But already, a early pick onto the sword from Gold will net the first cap from Reload, and Timmy is looking for the slider opportunity, but they have to look out above. The Jet has been activated, and it will put the zone into neutral, but here comes the slider from Timmy, almost running over Echo, but they jump out right in the nick of time. But Mist is now moving in, getting rid of Koreki, potentially looking for the pick on Safra, but no, Safra's going to be able to get rid of Mist. 2 members left on Reload as Gold is retreating.
Yeah, but you see, they realized the DJ Toenail, fantastic name, by the way, was behind them. A jump coming in as well from I Miss. They are going to get taken out by Echo. Koreki moving forward now. And man, that Stringer kit is one of my favorites in this game. However, you might have noticed that Echo on that sword has DC'd, and we were pretty early into the game, so that is going to be a replay.
Yeah, but I think we did see a lot of, pivotal specials come out from Christopher James Horse Kreider. I do also want to commend the Bulb Stringer here. My team, my team's backline has just been loving the Bulb Stringer kit before we went on our hiatus, and it provides a lot of good utility. It has the line marker for intel, and the Jet is a really underlooked kind of special that can be good for stabilizing space. It can also be good for taking space. So I think that's something that the Stringer base weapon can kind of mend together really well.
Yeah, my team also loves running the Bulb Stringer as our anchor. It is so much fun to play off of. And you see, we've got a fair amount of chip comp damage potentials from Christopher James Horse Kreider. So as long as the teammates are working together and taking fights together, they can get some pretty quick splats in, but they are going to make sure to try to stay alive here. Jesse's already using their special. The cooler's already out from Safra's Dynamo. And right now, I think they're going to have to be very wary of the slider that's going to be coming in at any minute from Timmy. There it goes. However, it's not going to get anybody off of that. Timmy is able to quickly jump out thanks to that tacticooler being active, but not able to get a ton of space out of that. That it's going to be a 3v3 situation.
DJ Toenail did have a Booyah Bomb ready to go before they go down to either Koreki or I think Jesse, but we're seeing Reload in a little bit of a scramble right now. They're trying to take their plats here, but it's being occupied by, I think that's Echo, and also Jesse is firing off with this Inkjet. Koreki's now moving in with the Stamp, but they get canceled out. 2 members have now gone down on Christopher James Horse Kreider, and now Reload is starting to mobilize. The zone is in neutral here, and the whales are coming out from the Gal. The zone is being painted heavily by Imist and Timmy, and now that's Reload in control. Echo is moving in though, but they get shut down. DJ Toenail once again has their Booyah Bomb ready to go here. They're taking some damage from Koreki. They need to get this popping, and they will put the zone in yellow here. They shut down this Stamp here, but the Jet has been activated, and Christopher James Horse Kreider is mobilizing as they flip this once more.
They are still holding it. That Booyah is going to come out, but DJ Toenail is going to go down. Echo issuing a Booyah of their own on their Stamper, holding it for now, throwing it towards the Tacticooler. That's going to force I-Miss to back away here. Koreki also jumping back. Both teams vying for control of this mid area. Like you were saying earlier, it is such a battle for mid and then such a struggle to retake on. I think we've actually seen much less of the pushing in deep towards enemy spawn to spawn camp, and more of a both teams just doing everything they can to hold these areas without overextending. Koreki actually doing an amazing job of just that, sharking and then popping out just when the time was right, using both the blaster and that ultra stamp to get an easy 2-pick.
Yeah, that's really pivotal because now we're seeing Christopher James Horse Kreider positioning themselves on plat, hunkering down, but unfortunately Koreki will be going down here. Timmy is able to be traded off by Safra. Echo's now going down to DJ Toenail. It's Gold and Toenail alive right now. They need to get some paint on the zone, but Toenail's gotten down. Here comes I-Miss here. Gold's backing up. I-Miss is unfortunately going down. Gold is trying to maintain the sight lines here, but that won't be enough here as Christopher James Horse Kreider will be taking game 1 after the replay.
Christopher James Horse Kreider saw their opponents coming in, trying to take that zone, and said, nay, friends, nay, that zone is still ours.
Rose, I hate to break it to you, but Sendo's down. We got the Cloud Flare screen.
I mean, what would a modern Splatoon tournament be if not for Sendo going down due to Cloud Flare shenanigans?
Yeah, it was a little bit on the fritz earlier back in round 1, but at least we are able to see the maps here. Game 2 is going to be on Inkblot, and Game 2 is going to be on Inkblot TC. Game 3 is going to go back to Mako Splat Zones. At this point, what now?
I think Christopher James Horse Kreider has a really great comp for Inkblot Art Academy TC. I think a lot of their weapons are going to play that really, really well. And I think Reload, it's not that Reload doesn't have weapons that are going to play really well there. I think just Splat Zone's Barnacle is tough to really get a strong hold on when you've been struggling to get in for so long. And TC Inkblot can be that if you let your opponents take certain areas of the map, but we both know Reload's a strong team. I trust that they're going to know where they need to be and where they need to be watching on both retakes and on offense when they're pushing the tower. That even though maybe they're not, their weapons aren't the, oh my gosh, these fights super amazing on stacks all of the time, it's still, they're going to be a team to watch out for here.
Yes, indeed. We're now going into Game 2, not seeing any switch-ups on the end of Chris James Horse Kreider. And Reload, still running the same thing. I don't know why I'm really vying for gold to bring out the bamboo here. Having the cooler is very, very beneficial no matter what, of course, because of just how the buffs work. And we're already seeing gold trying to get the sightlines on them, trying to at least establish the sightlines here. The soda has been deployed. Timmy has a slider ready to go, but it's being met with the jet. But that jet will punish the popped slider. 2 members down on Reload. Chris James Horse Kreider is now moving towards checkpoint 1.
Orki going in deep here is going to get punished for it. Safra also, man, I feel like so many slow weapons, Dynamo included, you see the killer whale coming and you're just kind of like, oh crap. Well,
you know what good about that.
I guess I'll stare at these whales as I die.
You hate to be on the receiving end of a successful whale pick, but iMiss is now looking for a potential flank onto Plat. They are able to get rid of Echo. Jesse will respond with the Inkjet once again, good at maintaining and stabilizing space, but it is going to go down as Reload is pressing forward. They immediately crush that lead as Timmy's trying to take bats here. They do trade out Echo as Gold remains in the driver's seat and is now moving towards checkpoint, the final checkpoint actually.
Yeah, Gold was doing their best to just stay alive, dance on that tower. That slide's going to come out again. That is Echo. I'm sorry, not Echo. That is the sword going down over on Reload. We've got 2 down over on Christopher James Horse Kreider. This, score-wise, is not looking amazing for Christopher James Horse Kreider. They are moving forward at this point, though. Jesse doing a very, very aggressive Inkjet here, at least to buy some space. Corky also popping the special of his own, able to throw that, not able to get a kill off of it. I can tell he wants to go in and finish it off, but that is 2 members of Reload standing in his way. Still tough to move in. I think if Christopher James Horse Kreider can really take some space and set up Corky on some really great areas to shark for ledges, then that's how they're going to take a ton of space.
Yes, exactly. They just have to work around, I guess, the natural map geology that Inkblot has to offer here. There's a fair amount of ledges, and Echo, meanwhile, is on an onslaught. They get 2 members down before jumping back to the rest of their team for some safety. As Chris James Horse Kreider is cruising past the first checkpoint, here comes a Booyah Bomb from DJ Toenail, displacing Safra big time and dropping them into the tree to fight off against, I think that was the Gal on Reload here. Correctly, unfortunately, going down to Timmy's slider or DJ Toenail's Booyah Bomb, and Jesse's popping the jets here, firing off onto Bat before relocating to the back of left stack. And now Chris James Horse Kreider is moving towards Plat, and whoa, DJ Toenail is on a big flank. Let's see what's going to happen.
They see Jesse. Jesse's going to go down from that. Gets a second on Safra. Echo's going to be forced to use that Booyah just to keep control of Bats and try to stay alive here. That is going to be Echo alone here and going down as a result. They were not able to clear that second checkpoint there and just unfortunately losing a lot of space here. Corki still trying to make things happen here. And really a face-to-face battle with DJ Toenail is going to lose that battle. But it's a 2-person alive on reload. There's still plenty of time to move forward here. There's a minute and a half left. If Christopher James Horse Kreider can make it through that checkpoint to start going towards the final checkpoint, they could very well get lead, but that does mean they're going to have to make sure to stay alive, and that is a delayed wipe on them. That's going to cost a lot of time.
Yeah, DJ Toenail was just thriving in the tree. They went kind of undefeated within that zone. That was their domain. And now Reload is starting to get the accelerator moving once again. Unfortunately, Gold's going down first. Timmy's popping the slider here, and it's going to be punished immediately. It's only DJ Toenail alive, being assisted by the Gal. But once again, DJ Toenail is not going down without a little bit of a fight, a little bit of a scuffle here. And 2 members have now gone down on Chris James Horse Kreider. Make it 3 here. And Koreki and the rest of Chris James Horse Kreider are moving in, but they need to watch out for this Booyah Bomb. And once again, 2 members go down, Echo and Safra. And actually, that's 3, 4. It's a wipeout as Reload are eyeing now the 3rd and final checkpoint.
That's an easy checkpoint clear. And there aren't a lot of points left to clear in order to get to that goal. They're down 3, 2, 1. They knock that out. That Booyah's going to come out too late to stop it.
Yes, yes. And wow. This set is now tied up after Chris James Horse Kreider takes Barnacle and Dime, and Reload takes Inkblot. It seemed to be a little bit leaning towards Christopher James Horse Kreider in the beginning. And there's the bump between iMist and Gold here, keeping the paint, keeping the whale, and Gold just being in the driver's seat for a lot of those pushes.
When you've got a pencil, in addition to really supplying that crucially important tacticooler, you want to make sure that your pencil can also hit those shots. And I feel like if you're often playing Bamboo, which is, also something you really need to make sure you hit those shots, I think you know how to shoot people with the Snipe Rider as well. And Gold's really shown that.
Oh, no, yeah. I've been on the receiving end of that. I've been on the receiving end of that in far too many Toronto locals. Thanks, Gold. Hope you enjoyed today's game next week. So, Game 3 is going to be on Zones Mako Mart. We're back to Zones, and once again, I think Christopher James Horse Kreider has a lot of good zone painting. They have the Dynamo in the hands of Sapphire. They have the Bulb Stringer, which can provide some good chip damage, which is good for whittling down the enemy team for the Slayers, for Echo, for Koreki. But then, I think Reload, they have Timmy, they have their slider, and they have some good AoE with that Dread Ringer as well. We'll just have to see what is in store, because a lot is on the line for Game 3. This decides who goes in Great White and who goes in Hammerhead.
Yeah, this is actually probably one of the biggest deals games in all of groups tonight for Summer Thing 225. So I'm glad we got to get this on stream. We've got DJ Toenail still on the sticker stamper. Echo is as well. Not any changes here. I think we're gonna see a lot of scrappiness yet again, but there's a lot of paint on Reload's side. Not that Bo can't paint super well, but there's just some nice painting power, especially with that Dread. So I think especially, that's gonna be tough to paint though if you're dead. And sometimes all you gotta do is get those pigs to make sure that your opponent can't paint.
Yeah, if you can just get in there, they will go down, as demonstrated by Koreki. And they're still going in. They want more, and they have a Booyah Bomb ready to assist right there. Koreki does go down, but they take down iMist with them. Safra is already on right stack, and they're trying to move in deeper, but they're trying to relocate now. They're once again reclaiming right stack for themselves. That slider will be canceled by Koreki. DJ Toenail now bringing out the Booyah Bomb here, taking down Safra. iMist is trying to take the fight to Koreki, trading them out with the whale. And if anything, Reload needs to put paint on zone now, because Chris James Horse Kreider is in the 20s.
Yeah, and there have been some really key picks coming out for Reload against Christopher James Horse Kreider, but I think you had it right. They really need to get paint down. They have a big person deficit at this point. There's only a couple seconds left to go. That is going to cap for a second, which is enough to prolong this. Christopher James Horse Kreider not able to knock this out just yet.
Yes, Timmy coming in clutch with the slider, applying 60 and counting penalty points to Chris James Horse Kreider, who are still counting down at this moment here. Kreki does go down, Gold does go down as well, but Jesse, they have a good sideline onto zone. IMIS is able to get slipped by DJ Toenail, landing the direct onto Kreki. It's only Jesse left, and finally Reload have found their footing and are able to get a moment's leeway before the rest of Chris James Horse Kreider eventually come back for a retake.
Yeah, the pressure is going to be on the retake, which is already starting with Jesse's Inkjet starting to make some waves here. However, they are going to lose Koriki. The Dynamo in Saphra's hands does have the Tacticooler ready to go. It's going to force DJ Toenail to use their own Booyah. We got the Booyahs coming out from both sides here. Paint being thrown down on that zone by Reload. I think at this point, really, they just want to make sure that even if they lose control of that zone momentarily, they don't lose people. However, Timmy going down is going to be a huge blow to them. Whenever they want to maintain stalling power with paint on that zone, I think Reload really wants to make sure that they have Timmy ready to be throwing a ton of paint from the Dread on that zone.
Not just the Dread, but also the slider, because we've seen Timmy insta-cap the zone with that slider in the past here. Jesse's jump is definitely not getting camped as they use drop roller to get away. Koreki is already having gold in their sights, but here comes that instant cap from Timmy's slider. Timmy's unfortunately going down now to Koreki as Echo is charging another Booyah Bomb to ensure that it's actually being thrown straight at spawn. Now we have 2 minutes left on the clock. Gold, as well as IMIS, went down earlier, I think, to Echo's Booyah. Now Echo's trying to move in. Echo's now moving in. They go down now to IMIS here. 2 minutes still are left on the clock. 2 down on Chris James Horse Kreider. We're seeing a potential retake now from Reload.
That Booyah Bomb is going to come out onto zone. It is not enough to cap it on its own, but of course Timmy with that Dreadbringer is able to paint enough just to get it down. 2 members down, both the bow and the sword for Christopher James Horse Kreider. Timmy is set up to hold paint on this zone. They're about to get through their penalty points, but they have a long time. They're going to have to hold this to get down all the way to 3 ticks remaining to have this, and the retake is starting to happen from Christopher James Horse Kreider. That cooler is online. The Booyah coming out, make sure that they have that left stack. Multiple members going down on Reload. They're being forced backwards. Koriki, again, going in on a tear. You can see, ready to camp these areas, but jump out when they have to give up that space. And I love how Saphra's been holding the stacks here on that Dynamo, making sure not to go in super aggressively. It's going to have to give up that stack, though, because of that Booyah. But look, there's only a couple more seconds they have to hold that until, again, you said that Reef Slider's been doing a lot of work on capping that zone.
Timmy's just at that one mercy gift where they're just reaching out for harm. And that's just what Timmy's bringing to the table here, immediately coming in right when Reload needs that. But right now, Reload's in a situation where they need, like, it's 43-4 here, and this zone is still being put into neutral. Saphra is just laying down the paint here. They drop the cooler here. IMIS is trying to take the fight directly to the Dynamo here, but IMIS does go down. The zone is neutral. Koreki's already taking ground. A Booyah Bomb has just been thrown by Echo. 2 members down on Reload. It's up to Gold and DJ Toenail in order to get this in overtime. They need to clear 33 points worth of penalty and then 35 points of their own. They need to practically work through their own points twice in overtime, which isn't even happening, Rose. That slider popped a little too late. And with that, Christopher James Horse Kreider will be going to Great White.
That has got to be exciting to go to Great White off of that. I thought they played that game so well. They were not going out of their way constantly to leave zone unattended to go just for picks, but they were making sure to get the picks in when Reload perhaps overextended or the Reef Slider came in at the wrong time, was going in without a whole lot of follow-up from the other members of Reload. But wow, I feel like we saw those zones games were so firmly in the hands of Christopher James Horse Kreider.
Yeah, they got the knockout on Barnacle and Dime here, and they just held a firm grasp on Mako Mart here. And that is 3 games said and done here. If anything, they should report those. I don't know why. I'm just looking at the Sendo at this point. And right now, I think we're starting to see group stage starting to wrap up. A lot of 2-0s across the board, a couple of 2-1s, like we saw here.
Yeah, actually, both round 3 matches in Group H were ended up being a 2-1 because the Whoopsie Daisies versus Game & Watch also ended up being 2-1.
Huh. That's very nice. That's really nice to see. Seed 24 and 25, they end up at a 2-1. Seed 8 and 9, they also go up in a 2-1. So now, let's see. Let's take a peek, I guess, now. Of course, the brackets still aren't finalized. Probably still seeing things set up here. But we'll be casting Great Whites in a little bit, so don't go anywhere. Swim or Sink 225 will be back with Great White bracket. The brackets are finalized and we are live. Welcome back to Swimmer Sync 225. For those just joining stream, I'm Frostix and I'm joined with the amazing Rose of Battle, and we have reached Top Cuts, Great White Bracket, where we see a lot of very promising teams go for the gold for the winner of Great White Bracket.
Yeah, we have a little bit of a condensed bracket this time around. There are 3 rounds. This is our first one happening before we head into semis. And first round that we're going to see here is Orange Cat Supremacy. Heck yeah, go Orange boys. And you should know, and I think you should know several of the players on both teams here.
Yes, Orange Cat Supremacy with Atlas, Zog, Prosper, and Sleepy, you should know, is consisted of Kuro, Jose, Luis, and Erito. So, really excited to see them take on this week's Swimmer Sync in their pickups. And we're starting things with a zone sandwich once again with Zone's Mahi Mahi. Wait, right? Is it Zone's Mahi Mahi? Okay. Is it in reverse? Maybe the maps are in reverse. Maybe the zones are backwards, yeah, because Mahi Mahi is good. Okay, so it's...
We think we are starting on Mahi zones, and I am expecting Erito to pull out a tri-stringer in all likelihood, being a member of Oops All Bow mains.
That's fair. And there it is. It's once again Bulbs. Bulbs is just it, man. We really love Bulbs here.
We do, man. That inkjet is so strong, combined with the line marker. So good here. And I think we're going to see a lot of really aggressive action here. Both teams here having the anchors who can hold down space pretty well. But man, that heavy, so Prosper already has that wave breaker, already throwing it down and starting to hold forward here, but it is going to get taken down. However, one member down on both of them, and taking out the NZAP is going to feel pretty nice here. Sleepy starting to hold ground, but they're going to have to start backing up here. Multiple members of Orange Cat Supremacy knowing that they can't go in too deep just yet. Unless you're a Splatoon, you can go down in a trade here. Still, map is not changing just quite yet, but will be doing so in a few seconds here. And Erito, named Bowser here, is gonna start using that inkjet. One shot, one kill, getting them there. There's another. They've got Zog in their sights. They get that shot on them. Oh my god.
That jet can just do a lot of things. Hold space, take space, make space even. And now the space has just opened up now that the water level has dropped. And Orange Cat Supremacy, once again, they need to put paint on the floor, and they need to do that stat because you should know are in the single digits now. The zone is now into neutral here, but it's immediately being recapped to the bucket. Sleepy's trying to at least put paint on the ground. Same thing with Prosper. Prosper is the only one left on the field. That is a very clean 100-0 blitzkrieg sweep from You Should Know, and you should know that they just took game 1.
That inkjet combined with the aggression of the rest of the members of You Should Know really set the stage for the, I think it was the last not even half minute of the game that happened so quickly. Really, Orange Cat Supremacy never got control of the zone a single time.
They didn't. There was no signs of penalty anywhere, and You Should Know we're just able to hold down this space, keep maybe the more aggressive weapons on Orange Cat Supremacy, like Atlas's Wiper or Zog on. I think Zog was. I don't remember what Zog was playing here. Zog on the Blaster here. So they take game 1 and a lot of forward momentum. It's now in game 2, Clam Blitz Barnacle, where things start to be on the line.
That is going to be, again, what could be a pretty lockout-heavy map here. So whoever has a really strong initial push really can set the pace for the rest of the game and really force the opponent to really commit to a retake. One thing that my coach recently told me was to really think of opening, like the initial opening, and retakes as sort of a similar idea of you got to be very careful in how you're approaching them. And if you mess up that opening, that means you essentially have to do an opening again.
Exactly. Yeah, like if you can't like afford to kind of like biff pushes on this end. Like next thing you know, you have to cross through mid and then fight in court. It's basically fighting mid twice. So we'll have to see what maybe Orange Cat Supremacy can do in order to keep themselves afloat. And Kuro is switching up to Nautilus this time around here. This is something that you don't see every day.
Prosper still on that heavy splatling for Orange Cat Supremacy here. Still a lot of really aggressive fighting weapons on both sides. I mean, Nautilus, that vanilla Nautilus has a very supportive kit, but it enables a lot of destruction for the rest of your team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it has point sensor, which gives vision for maybe the bucket or the zap, and that rain can also just help with getting yourselves in. But speaking of getting yourselves in, that's what Orange Cat Supremacy. We're seeing Sleepy already on plats here, where they got rid of the bucket here, but Prosper has gone down. It's only 2 members left, and Atlas will throw the hammer, getting rid of the bow. And Orange Cat Supremacy just has so much space, but I think it's starting to dwindle now as they're starting to back up towards mid.
The strikes are going to come out from You Should Know. They're starting to skirmish here in mid now, but Sleepy's going to take the fight to them until, oh no, an Inkjet's being popped. Sleepy has to run. Arito has members of Orange Cat Supremacy in their sights, not able to get any picks there, but did allow openings for the rest of the team to start moving in. However, they're getting attacked now, forced to just barely jump out by the skin of their teeth. Kuro looked like they were about to go down there as well, but also managing to go down. This point now, they have opened up a lot of space, however, didn't go down as they were backing up here. And that field is completely open for Orange Cat Supremacy. That first power clam is going to go in, but at the cost of somebody's life. A second power clam goes in. They have the Splatana down now, and they're going to have to give up on the rest of this push. That's going to be okay so long as they don't lose a ton of space, but they might be losing a ton of space right now.
Yeah, it does not look like You Should Know it's moving at least towards their own plat, but they have a lot of mid control, and they're going to be sporting maybe multiple power clams, or just maybe the equivalent of multiple power clams at the moment here. They're already juiced up on Soda. We're seeing Arito fire off with the Inkjet. Kuro unfortunately does go down here. Sleepy does get caught out on their flank here, and potentially Atlas as well, but Jose is able to get that power clam alive. Atlas has gone down here. They're going to camp that jump. Sleepy is going nowhere, and if anything, I think You Should Know is going to get a double power clam push of their own in due time.
You should know that You Should Know is about to close in here. 2 power clams already set and made, ready to score in at this point. And now, of course, Arito going to throw that power clam, make sure that somebody else is going to grab it here because that jet is going to start making waves. That second power clam not able to be thrown in here is just a little bit too short. Nobody's going to be able to follow up on that. I think it was wise for Kuro not to even try to go save that, but they still got the lead off of that just barely by 4 points.
Yes, Jose was able to get a couple of clams in to take the lead by 4 points, but right now, that means Orange Cat Supremacy can basically take this with just 1 power clam and a couple pocket change. But right now, space is kind of dwindling. A lot of this mid appears to be yellow from Luis's perspective here. They already have, the clam economy right now is dead even, 7-7, and Luis is trying to move in from streets here, but we're seeing Arito bring out their prize Inkjet, getting rid of Sleepy and Prosper, potentially Atlas too, but Atlas responds with a cancelled Ultra Stamp, and Kuro will land the power clam here, and this push is once again starting. Are we going to see some follow-up though? Because I'm not seeing any movement here. I think Luis is going to have to deposit their 3 from their back pockets, pushing the lead to 49, but if anything, this is going to give Orange Cat Supremacy 3 power clams for their next push, and if all those can go in, that could prove disaster. That could spell disaster.
That could. However, the downside of holding a ton of power clams on your team is that everybody knows who you are. However, if you are able to get those picks in, it does not matter. That's 1 power clam going in, a second power clam going in. It looks like they're going to try to get that 3rd one in. Moving in now. Loser holding space, but no, going to go down. They do get the lead, but not able to get that power clam in time. That score is going to hold at 34.
Even still, 34, once again, they do establish that lead, but now Orange Cat, you should know, will have could potentially take that lead pretty fast. But now, 30 seconds are left on the clock. Zog is trying to get some pot shots from the street barrier. It's right now looking to be dead heat neutral in mid here. A mad race to get space, to get picks, and Luis is already going to get Zog down here. We're also seeing Erito have their jet ready to go. The rain is going to be deployed from Kuro. Here comes the jet from Erito, and the rest of Orange Cat Supremacy are starting to back up. Here come the strikes now from Luis here. Does You Should Know have a power clam here? They pushed it this far. Do they have a power clam?
They're making one right now. Kuro does get that 8th clam needed, but they're going to need to get some space in front of that basket in order to score that power clam. They are starting to get flanked by multiple members. Kuro trying to save that, but is not able to. It looks like that is getting camped now. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to get that in time. Erito's trying to set up, make sure that somebody can get in, but no, that power clam not able to be scored. Overtime clock running out. You Should Know not able to make that counter push. So that is a game win going to Orange Cat Supremacy, and we are tied up.
Yeah, I think what I noticed a lot within that overtime was that they had the space, they had a lot of pressure on their hands here, but they just did not have that clam built here just yet. I think they were just really focused on just taking space and at least maintaining some pressure on their end. But then they had to take a moment to maybe back up, put some clams into Kuro's pocket. But that's time that could have been spent scoring. That's time could have been spent pushing deeper in that instance. And then in overtime, every second counts here. And then Orange Cat Supremacy were just able to capitalize off that and then start whittling them down, start using that fading power clam as leverage in this case here. So that is the game going to Orange Cat Supremacy. Still, it was very close as we now enter game 3. A lot is riding on the line here. Whoever wins will be moving forward to semis.
Yeah, I think really just that last game was so tough in that overtime. If I had to point out anything, I think some of those specials were mistimed, and hopefully You Should Know can shake that off and realize, okay, that overtime could have gone a lot better for us. We had the right idea, but the execution wasn't quite right. But, you know, they had such a strong Mahi zones going into Robo zones just in a second here. I think they just got to replicate what they did in Mahi.
That, exactly. Like, if they can just take some really strong positioning and just ensure that Orange Cat Supremacy cannot get a single step forward here, they'll have Robo Ramen in the bag. But if Orange Cat Supremacy can start finding their ways in and out, if they can just have a little bit more of early positioning on their ends here, if they can establish a lot of key spots before You Should Know, if before they get hunkered down here, they could get a lot of momentum in their favor. And that momentum is starting to be established. 2 members of You Should Know go down, and now 3 as Orange Cat Supremacy are moving into elbow, as we see Prosper is doing right now.
Yeah, Prosper holding a really good position here, but is going to go down here. Erito's Inkjets, I can't even call it the unsung hero because we've been gassing it up, but it really has been so pivotal for a lot of these retake moments of being able to get some really important picks and also open things up for the rest of everybody else. But that Splatana is still sharking back there, going to be forced to back out the rest of Orange Cat Supremacy altogether. Erito's bow shots just all of a sudden finding their target. 3 just stuck into the body of a member of Orange Cat Supremacy. Still, Orange Cat Supremacy has the lead, not a large lead, but they are still controlling the zone at this point. They're going to have to really take some strong positions here. They're getting forced out again. The same retake we just saw, Erito's Inkjet combined with the triple ink strike, still not able to get that zone, but with the help of some paint from some main weapons, plus the ink storm is going to flip that zone. Now You Should Know is going to want to hold forward here, but they keep getting marked, and I think that's going to be really tough to move in off of that.
Yeah, like when you are marked, that means Orange Cat Supremacy just has a lot more in terms of vision here. It allows someone like Atlas on the Wiper to close in. It allows Zog to close in, Sleepy to close in, allows Prosper to just rain down Heckfire. And Atlas is taking a lot of damage. They are able to get the hammer throw off. Zog also has a splashdown ready to go. Here comes the rain from Kuro. They're also deploying some strikes from Luis here, immediately flipping the zone and forcing the rest of Orange Cat Supremacy to back off and respect the special space. But Zog Zog is able to at least take out Jose in the sneaky area. Right now, the zone is in neutral. Sleepy has the soda ready to go here, but they're not putting down enough paint to outdo You Should Know, who are now starting to count down. The lead is still very much established in Orange Cat Supremacy's favor, 47 to 60. They flipped it once again, Heroes.
Yeah, this keeps flipping back and forth. These flips are going to benefit Orange Cat Supremacy as they are the team in the lead here. However, if they keep flipping things without getting a strong hold on where they want to hold, then that's going to be really, really tough to get any points down. However, the points are starting to come in now. Again, that retake strategy, we've got the Inkjet plus the strikes coming in. I wouldn't be surprised that Rain now gets thrown out as well. They've got 3 specials in succession like they've done, I think, every retake to this point. However, it's not been working for very long for the past, I think now all 3 attempts, they've not been able to really cap that zone and hold it for long. It's just Arito facing multiple members that is down just 2-1. And that is game and match going to Orange Cat Supremacy.
They claw their way out of that initial game 1 loss and take the set 2-1 here. I definitely want to give some major kudos to Atlas and Zog on the Wiper and Custom Blaster respectively here. I think just the thing that kind of got it a lot of the attention initially when it was revealed, it's that verticality here. You saw Atlas, aka Saint Loser, on the Wiper, and you see Zog as well go on those flanks here. They're able to just divert attention towards them, and then that allows Prosper as well as Sleepy to put more attention onto the zone here. And then when they get on the zone and then they can start moving forward, they're already taking forward advantages while you're trying to deal with the Wiper, while you're trying to deal with the Blaster. So that will allow them to take game 3. They take the set 2-1 and have their ticket punched to semifinals.
And this week's Great White is looking really exciting, as we've seen so far, other than the set at the bottom between Doom Desire and Liberation, who are now on their second game. Things are tied up 1-1, and that's what you love to see when a lot of these teams are really closely matched.
Yes, indeed. Like 1.1, Twin Turbo and Christopher James Horse Kreider, they're on Robo Ramen. The same thing goes for It's Been a While and Where is Bounce Flame Text. Man, these are very funny names that Dark and Ellie will have a lot of fun pronouncing, because this is the end of the road for us, Rose.
Yeah, we're going to be turning this over to some other wonderful casters who love to have some fun with this goofy names coming up here. I'm Rose, and thank you for joining me, Frostix.
Of course, thank you as well. But I think before we go off the airwaves, is there anywhere the Twitch chat can find you on social medias?
Yeah, you can find me over at my Twitch channel, also YouTube and Blue Sky as Rose of Battle on all 3 of them. What about you, Frostix?
You can find me on Blue Sky at frostix.bluesky.social. My twitter.com is at tk_frostix, and my YouTube is Frostix. We've got some interesting stuff coming on the horizon. Like I said earlier, you will be hearing from SPF Dark and Ellie in Block 2, so don't go anywhere. Swimmer Sync will be back with a fresh set of voices and a lot more action headed your way.
hello, and good morning, and welcome to Summer Sync 225. Hi, Dark. How you doing? I know.
I'm doing great. I love how quiet that was.
It's quiet? Okay. My bad. I'm used to being the producer on this kind of thing. I'm not good in front of the microphone. So,
no, it's great. It's great. I'm excited to have you here.
Yeah, I mean,
you got this.
It's a short block today. We're only covering this set and next set. That's all there is left to this tournament. But I mean, we're already at the point where it's super good teams. So who we got, Dark?
Who we have here is Where is Bounce Flame Text, consisting of Comrade, Pistol, Candy, and Bounce, going up against Doom Desire, Tan, 49er, Bubble, Swag, and Sorrow.
Yeah, I mean, good players. Like, I'll admit, like, I'm kind of a fraud, and I don't know people anymore, so my information is, like, back from the Stone Age, but, like, Bubbles on Doom Desire, super good player, used to be on a team with him, so excited to see how he's been growing the last, like, what, year and a half? Tan I see a lot on Twitter.com, and everyone, like, glazes that guy for being, like, a super good splatter shot pro, so excited to see how that goes, and, I mean, Bounce and Candy I've seen since, like, when I started playing, like, Bounce on the 96 and Candy on the, I don't remember, but they're good at the game, so.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to trust you on this because I'm so bad at remembering names and who's where and what they play and whatnot, because there's so many people that I end up watching sing. So I'm just smiling and nodding right here to your information. But at the very least, to kick things off this set here, we will be seeing Umami Ruins with Splat Zones, a stage mode that I very much utterly adore. I love any 2-zone stages in my personal opinion.
Yeah, I think it's a great choice. I mean, Lockout's pretty brutal, but these teams know what they're doing, so they'll be fine. I don't know what Bounce Flame Text is running, but I know Doom Desire's got like that Pen, Nautilus, assuming that Sorrow and, oh my god, Spag are playing, so I think this map would be pretty nice for them. Like Nautilus being pretty good here, especially Splashdown, and Pencil good everywhere. Yeah, could be interesting. I don't really know what Bounce Flame has in store, so I don't know.
I mean, we're about to find out here, though, both you and me, because I have no idea what to expect either. But we are in semifinals. We're moving from a best-of-3 to a best-of-5 set here. So a little bit more action to see these two teams clash here. And as we see the lineup, I very much like what Doom Desire is bringing. I really like that comp there.
It's kind of a freaky comp. I like it. That heavy, especially that recent buff, going to be able to sustain that zone with no problem whatsoever. So, I mean, I think it's a good choice. And like I said earlier, Nautilus is a nice, selection here as well. So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely freaky. Like, the Octopus isn't something you see every day, but 49's been on it for, like, a bajillion years, so I think it'll work out well.
Yeah, and speaking of the Octopus, going in on the deep end to try and disrupt Where is Bounce Flame Text, managed to get a pick as well as push back the remaining players to allow Doom Desire just to come in and clean up zone pretty easily. And now trying to fight Candy, unfortunately going down for a 1-for-1 trade before going down to get another 1-for-1 trade on Bounce's side there. But Doom Desire is sitting at a good position here.
Yeah, first hold going to Doom Desire. It's not like exactly a clean hold. They never got a full wipeout, but and they burnt a lot of resources in doing so, so I don't imagine it's going to hold for too long, but we'll see how things shape out. I mean, Bounce Flame's got all their specials at the ready now, so they're using them, and they're going to be getting back in the zone here.
Yeah, and using that Kraken to try and spearhead this push. Doesn't find anyone. It gets punished immediately here, but it is enough to pull some distraction away from the zone to be able to at least contest it so they just aren't running away with these points here. Karma sitting on the ledge, gets called out almost immediately there, and it's just a bit of a scramble from either side, but Doom Desire is still holding on strong here.
That's kind of horrific. Like, it's not, like, over by any means for Bounce Flame, but they burnt so many resources, and they don't even have, like, stable control of the zone. They didn't even get Bubbles down, I think, at all. So, Bubbles has been able to stay alive here and to stay in the zone and, continue to hold pressure and all that. So, I don't know. It felt like they exerted so much effort just to get very little in return.
Yeah, not a lot was gained from that initial push here, but we're seeing yet another attempt here. Bounce once again trying to find anything, but it's just shut down here. And recognizing the conditions here of this game, Doom Desire is now just fully forcing their way up forward. Yeah, there's nothing whereas Bounce Flame Text can do at this point of the game.
Like, it looked pretty evenly matched. Like, they were able to logically get the picks that they needed and, like, neutralize the zone too, but they were never able to just, like, fully secure that zone, and then it just kept snowballing. Like, they got like a foot in the door, and then they like slammed the door shut on their foot, and now it's over. So, first game going over to Doom Desire.
Yeah, I mean, I think some of that does go into what's it called, Bubbles' credit with the heavy splatling there being able to anchor down so much, especially against the Kraken, just being able to just apply all that constant pressure to keep it in place, not allow it to move at all. So I think that probably did some of the recovery for them.
I didn't even notice until we saw that replay, but Bubbles got like a nice fall-off kill over the pencil, like shooting over the ledge of the silo, like onto that, and just like, I mean, I feel like their fate was already sealed there, but just like clip farming for the love of the game afterwards. Now, moving on to game 2 here, in probably the worst map in SOS's pool, Tower Ship Shape. I don't know. Like, I think the heavy is a good choice, like, everywhere, but it's like especially good in zones because that thing like craps out paint. So personally I expect to see this change, but I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, with how successful Doom Desire was, the odds are that they might not want to do any too major swings on their weapon lineup here. The heavy spelling has been seeing on the rise on popularity as of recently, so maybe they want to try and see how well it does here for Shipshape Cargo Company. It can be a bit dicey though, just because of the nature of where the tower goes and how close it can get to those ledges, which could be a little bit hard for it to actually try and break through. But again, I don't know. We'll have to just wait and see how the game goes out from here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the heavy is a bad choice by any means, and I think it'd be a perfectly fine pick here, but I think its like current strength is just being able to crap out bajillion paint, which it's a good thing because you've got the Octobrush and the Entry that need that paint to move and fight properly, but the objective isn't centered around painting the zone anymore, so it's not going to be like as valuable as it was in the last stage.
Yeah, but here we go. Moving into game number 2 here. We're going to see exactly what these two teams might be changing up a little bit, or if at all. It does seem that Doom Desire is just sticking with their guns, not wanting to change up too much on their end. And over on the side of where is Bounce Flame Text, I do see Carmad switching over to the regular Splat Roller, as well as I don't remember if that T-Tech was around last time or not.
It was not. Candy going over from the Splat Dualies over to the Tech Splatter Shot. I think it's a good selection. I mean, Strike's nice on tower control, and that game, just like that, you can be a little bit corny, so it's a good choice. Yeah, I mean, we see Doom Desire sticking to their heavy combo, which I think is great because, they can still get painted in and fight, just like Tan doing there, moving up. Oh, the Rose behind them.
Ooh. Yeah, Comrade just going in, disrupting a little bit of Doom Desire's own push there, but it just kind of gets called out immediately, and now they're on the back end once again. Doom Desire just flipping the script and being able to keep them at bay, and it's still just a bit of a hassle from either side. There's constant fighting, constant trades coming out from across the map here. It's hard to say exactly who's going to be the one to actually get the first proper chunk of points going.
Yeah, we're going to see Bounce Flame ultimately come out on top in that like really messy first fight, but it's not like a secure hold either. Like you see a 49er on the brush behind him causing a lot of trouble, and they go 3 down from God knows what. So I mean, that first hold, absolutely nothing burger. Doom Desire coming back strong.
Yeah, a good flip here from Doom Desire. 3 down means that they have the positioning here to be able to actually use these specials to their advantage here, especially with Zipcaster going to disrupt this pencil and the backline, but gets called out though. But it's still good in the end because you get that tower to the checkpoint, maybe able to try to push past it here. Bounce unfortunately gets caught out there on top of the splash down, but the triple in strike is still in play, and they're still able to recover that first checkpoint from going down.
Yeah, I mean, on either side, it's just like we're starting to secure this like great area, and being able to fight from that, from the bridge is such a like good vantage point. So we're just not able to get like a proper hold in. Like Doom Desire had all the proper like setup, and we just couldn't get in and win that fight. So it's unfortunate for it to stop like that. I mean, they're winning them again right now, so it doesn't really matter. And I think they're better get set up for their second push here.
Yeah, a second push is looking like a real good possibility here, especially with Candy so far behind them, and whereas Bounce Flame Tech being forcefully pushed upwards with the splash on as well. They're at that checkpoint yet again. The question is, can they try and break through it? This time around, triple Intrex does come out to try and stall it out, and it does reset the tower at least a little bit, but the fighting on the bridge there means that they're still not able to actually fully clear it out.
I think that pick on the Bounce was so good. Like, Bounce has been a huge nuisance. Setting up that splash wall on the bridge has been like securing that vantage point for Bounce Flame, but them going down is enabling them to start that push now. And 49ers are like deep in the bridge. I think they just got like 2 or 3, but yeah, I mean, this is a pretty strong hold for Doom Desire.
Yeah, this can be very tricky for Where's Bounce Flame Text here if they don't get this tower in check. Triple Instrex comes out yet again to scatter Doom Desire, and it does that by a little bit, but there's still just so much scrapping and fighting all across the map that it's kind of hard to keep track of like where the flow of this game is actually going. But it looks like Bounce Flame Text does manage to recover this at least a little bit.
Yeah, I only have concepts of an idea of how Bounce Flame got back in here, but I mean, another pick onto Bubbles being the backline of Doom Desire, I mean, that's a great pick, and it's going to remove so much stability and paint for Doom Desire, so now it's their opportunity to start moving in here.
Yeah, they're pushing now, starting to a good start. Tri-Slosher has been taken out. We have Tactical Online using the triple strikes as well to clear out the bridge, clear out that platform. You're going to be able to take this checkpoint without too many issues here. Now, the question is, how do you move forward after the checkpoint's clear? We see 49er with the zip caster going in to try and stop the checkpoint from being lost, but no, it is still taken in the end of the day. Bounce is forced to use the Kraken here to try and recover this push, but it looks like there's not enough players around to actually aid in that incoming push here.
I mean, that's a good pick from bouncing out here, and I think that might have just, like, sealed it. It's like, they might be able to get this checkpoint still, no? Like, yeah, so they've broken it. I mean, I think the push is dead here, but break that first checkpoint means that, you know, their further pushes are going to be so much easier. I mean, they're not done yet, like, that's going to be the lead for them. Like, 45 is the first lead on Ship Shape, but it leads a lead, and they're still 2 down, so this could compound by a lot. They have the strikes and the bubbles, too, so this could be catastrophic.
Yeah, no, Doom Desire is sort of scrambling here to try and stop the bleeding as best they can, but there's 2 spread out. Bounce getting a double with their Kraken, which has allowed Bounce Flame Text to just come in and just steamroll their way to the end there.
Yeah, I mean, Ship Shape is like the snowball of all time, which is why I think this map is like... I can't say what I want to say, but this map is... it's a map. So once they got that control,
you can say it. You're my boss here. You can say it.
I'm just a lowly head CEO. I got nothing. Like once they got control, it just kept going. It's so hard to get your footing back in because you only get like that top left and the right side, and then that whole like court area is just like no man's land, and it just worked out well. Like the combo of the strikes and the bubble and the Kraken like in your face, it was over. So yeah, I mean. If they keep playing like that, then Clan Blitz Scorch Cord is going to go right to them. I think that the Kraken, the bubble, is going to be super nice here.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, no, I think the Kraken and that bubble can just be absolutely devastating here with how they've been playing. Especially with a lot of the focus here, in my opinion, for this stage specifically, is the ramps leading up to the clan basket, using either of those specials to be able to clear that ramp so pretty easily, allowing your team to just follow it up and get a good solid push in can just be absolutely devastating here. So the question is, where is Bounce Flames Text? Where is Doom Desire want to pull out here this time? Right? Do we think they're going to stick with the heavy splatling, or do they want to try and shake things up a little bit here?
I think they're going to keep everything just the same. Like, I mean, 49 is one trick, and I mean, everyone seems pretty comfortable on what they're playing, and I think it's good here. Like, the greats are super pivotal for them to control, and, you know, what better to do that with a brush that can run right across them, and heavy splatling that goes super fast across them. So, yeah, I mean, I think this is a good choice for them to keep. This map is particularly strong for rollers, and I think that that extends to the end try and the brush as well. So yeah, I mean, but they got if they don't play like they did last game, then we will be in for a good match. Game. But
Yeah, no, that was a lot of just like scramble fighting from either side, and all honestly, from that second game we hear. Oh, excuse me, but. We're now moving to game number 3. Of course, no one's surprised Doom Desire sticking with their guns here. And where's Bounce Flame Text here, also sticking with their guns here. No changes across the board.
I'm a fraud. I forgot about the Nautilus. That Nautilus is also super nice for controlling these 2 streets and the mid tower and the grates, everything like that. So I think they're poised to play pretty well here. I mean, they're starting out a lot further back than Bounce Flame, so I'm interested to see what this opening is. I think they're trying to just like smuggle in the brush? I can't really tell.
Yeah, maybe it was trying to wait for that tactical lure to come online to be able to try and force their way even further in here, but it doesn't seem like so, as we do see just picks coming out from either side. 49er going down deep end. Giant does not find anyone and forces at least the misposition there from the pen, so allowing Doom Desire to come in, really take full secure of mid and just force their way to the clan basket already.
I didn't even get to see what happened, but they went 3 down. It's just the Kraken mid. Swag just... Okay. Goodbye. So, I mean, Bubble's still on the left side, so it's not a dead push, even though Spag's dead, so could still be something.
Yeah, it's definitely could still be something here, especially with the two not and the splatting there. Could have been something, but no, they get phased out pretty quickly here. And now, whereas Bounce Flame Tech's coming in on the incoming here, taking mid as best they can, also getting picks back to back it up as well. Doom Desire is looking struggling at least a little bit here on the incoming.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty strong position, but without the clamps, they just couldn't get it going. And right now, it's swinging back in favor of Bounce Flame Tech's. Bounce super far up with this crack and with the strikes as well. Like, with 2 down on Doom Desire, I mean, I feel like this is going to go in their favor pretty soon. I just got to get the ball in, though.
Yeah, an attempt there from the Gal to try and shoot down the one remaining player from Doom Desire in the back end leads into them being able to get the clan basket wide open here, taking lead in the process here. Now, the question is, how can they hold this from here? Comments on the left-hand side, sharking about, waiting for the wrong person to just come up a little bit too far, catching the try in the process, but gets traded out. That's a good way to keep your momentum going here before being forced to jump down. I don't think there's too much more clans they can score here at this point before being completely forced out. Bounce still in the midst of it, especially with Kraken trying to keep some semblance of the push alive, but the barrier does come up and Bounce does retreat.
Yeah, I mean, the push dies there, but that Kraken bought them, like, pretty good control. Like, they still have control of the space ahead of the mid tower, and them, again, Doomslayer being 3 down now, and Swag coming off the respawn, like, this might as well just be a continued push for them.
Yeah, not letting up one bit. That jump out does mean it's a tactical wipeout for them as Doom Desire once again stuck on their side of the map. Triple Intrack comes out to clear the pathway so they can potentially try and get that clam in, but no, the Tri-Slosher was there to stop that push here, and now it's a bit of a failed push from where Bounce plays, but the Kraken comes out to maybe try and recover it as best they can, forcing Doom Desire to back up a little bit, finding another player as well. Can this be the conversion they needed to try and at least keep this push alive?
Can we talk about Bounce's Kraken? Like, I don't think there's been a single one where the guy hasn't gotten value out of the thing. Like, it's consistently getting picks and at the very least moving everyone away. So it's gonna get them deep balls in. I mean, well, okay. 30 points, full wipeout. Was it worth it? I'm not sure. Like, look at the amount of space that Doom Desire gets to take here, just off of that push.
Yeah, it is a lot of space, but they may not have been able to utilize it to the best of their ability because whereas Bounce Flame Tech is already postured to keep them in check, not let them get too far forward here. Though Tens does get that 1-for-1 trade there from under the ledge. It could be the force the flip they need to maybe get it pushed going. That they do. They managed to break through here and the jump in as well. It's gonna get them the lead, but can they knock it out here? 49er on the back end, keeping Bounce Flame Techs all occupied here, almost getting bounced in the process, but they don't get the pick, but it doesn't matter.
I thought it was over, not gonna lie. They were kind of getting that specked around a little bit, but Doom Desire comes out strong, or comes back strong, taking that oh wow, good game in this best of 5. So I mean, now this is match point for Doom Desire. Like, all of it, my confidence was wavering in them a little bit, but they brought it back and in pretty good, like, strong force too. So
yeah, no, I gotta say, I think even though Bounce had amazing Krakens there, at the end, 49er with the Zipcaster really did a lot for them to allow them to get so many points that they did to seal the deal here. I mean, just look at that, taking the attention of all three of whereas Bounce Flame Techs, while the remainder of the team were just able to just walk in and just cash in as much as they wanted. That really was the game-winning play right there.
Yeah, I mean, I asked during the game, all that entire wipeout to get down 30 points, was it worth it? Evidently not. Like, that wipeout set them back so hard, and they just weren't able to get their proper footing back. So, no, wasn't worth it. Mild fumble, but moving on to game 4, they won the last tower control game, so I wonder how it's going to be here. I think Hagglefish is, like, at least 12 times a better map than, well, low bar to clear. But, yeah, tower control Hagglefish. I think we got a bit of an edge on this, but it's going to play a little bit more in their favor than Ship Shape Cargo Company because that map is fun.
Yeah, I now in match point, where's Bounce Flame Techs is a bit of an awkward situation here to try and see exactly what they want to pull out differently here. The third game for them looked really good, but they unfortunately fumbled it at the end here, so it's going to be up to them to really try and play their cards the best they can to stay alive for the set a little bit longer. And I'm kind of scared, to be honest, for them as well, because Doom Desire, especially with the heavy splatling, could be kind of hard to try and push through.
I don't know, like you saw at the end there in the last game that Bubbles on the heavy splatling is kind of getting checked by the pencil. Like, it's a hard matchup for Bubbles to fight, so you know he's gonna have to take those off angles to be able to get the jump onto the pencil. And I don't think of this as a map where that's like necessarily possible. So, oh wow, I haven't seen that in a fat minute.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, the red pencil, not what I expected, but I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
Yeah. No, at first I saw that, I was like, oh, they're switched to pencil. And then I saw the red. I was like, oh, wait a minute. We'll see exactly how Bubbles wants to utilize this different pencil here, especially going up against the tried and true pencil on the side of where's Bounce Flame Text here. But out the gate, it's a bit of a stalemate from either side. Both the frontliners kind of switching places there as Common goes in on deep end side, but it's still just kind of anyone's game here.
I saw Conrad like diving Bubbles, and like I felt a little bit of fear, but unfortunately Conrad does go down, not getting the pick, so Bubbles still with us. What happened?
Disconnect happened.
Unideal.
Not what you want to see here. Happens though, I guess. I mean, well, what more can you do at this point? You just kind of have to eat it, you know.
I mean, what do you think based off the opening? Like, it's kind of a strange opening. Like, we exerted a lot of specials, like especially those tri-strikes coming out to like push you back, and then like Conrad like half ran through it and then like ran backwards, and then like nothing really happened. Like nothing ever happens. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, I mean, from that opening, there was I see what Doom Desire wants to try and bring out with that red pencil, using the rain to just enable the frontliners and all the chip damage to be able to try and just get a lot of different picks through that sort of push there. But they did. Not just Doom Desire as well, but both teams just seem to like just really scatter with how they're approaching a lot of these fights. That was really hard to see what the goal and what the intent was. But either way, that doesn't matter here. Now we're back with this fourth game, the real one this time around, hopefully.
You remember when they buffed Rain and they're like, it can heal now? Do you remember that? Does anyone remember that? Like,
I remember that.
Like I only remembered it now, and I think that might be like pretty nice here for the striking weapons. But like, is it a nothing burger? I feel like it might be a nothing burger.
It depends on who you ask.
I think the flank just got one. Bounce is down.
Yeah, Bounce is down. Could open up a good push forward, whereas Bounce Flame Text, but no, Doom Desire. Name switched in my brain, doesn't matter. Doom Desire is now going to that first checkpoint without any issues. Bounce with the crack and comes out to try and stop the remaining members of Doom Desire, but not keeping the tower in check means that they might be able to get squeezed that first checkpoint without too many issues.
We just got tap tower. It's like, yeah, like it was like 2 frames away from break-in, so there we go. Yeah, like off camera, I think we saw 49er go up the right side and get like 2 on off of, well, like one of them was Bounce, another pick, and that just opened the door right up. So that's gonna get them up to 47 points. Not a safe lead yet, but taking down Comrade too. This push could keep going. They don't really have the resources anymore, but they're just fighting, and I think it's gonna work.
Yeah, I mean, with how staggered Bounce Flame Text is right now, why wouldn't you just keep this momentum going after pick after pick after pick? And, you know, in this position, what more can you do? Doom Desire just has such a solid hold here, especially 49er going on deep and getting the 3 in the process. That's just a quick and easy knockout for Doom Desire.
Don't doubt the red pen. I mean, Doom Desire closing out the set 3-1 and moving on to what, grand finals? Like, that's it for them. Yeah. Tiny bracket today, so they're all the way. They're at least gonna get second place, and I don't know, maybe we're gonna get first.
Yeah, I mean,
all right, go on.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'm going. Our producer is like, Twin Turbo is 0-1 versus Orange Cat Supremacy. FYI, I'm like, that means I know who these players are. I know who's on these well-established teams. So let's take a look. Can we jump into the other side semi-set, perchance? You can try, he says. That's my goat. So we might take a look over at Twin Turbo versus Orange Cat Supremacy. Yeah, Twin Turbo being Cool Ace, Peachy. Yeah, that's like Zenna Peachy, you know?
Maybe.
Please don't mean things to you. But yes, I think that's Zenna Peachy. And Bonk and Kiki versus on the side of Orange Cat Supremacy being Atlas, Zog. Who's Zog? oh, they just like, oh, we know, I know this team. They just got second one. Oops. And they're like the one team I see on Twitter.com. And Prosper and Sleepy.
Again, I'm trusting you on all of this. I unfortunately have a job, so I don't have the time. Well, no, I didn't mean it like that. I'm just saying I work all day long, so I hardly have the time to keep. All right. Oh, you know what? This is my fault for trying to do anything. Oh my god.
I don't know. Kind of is your fault. So I've been called a jobless bum on the IPL cast.
No, that's not what I meant.
At the very least. So this might be a long one.
See, this is what happens when I don't think about what I'm about to say, because what I was trying to say that because I'm working all day, I hardly ever get the chance to actually check Blue Sky, check Twitter, check a lot of these results to see what happened and who it happened with. And so that's what I was trying to say. I wasn't trying to say anything about you, Ellie. Please don't fire me.
Fire you? Yeah, I mean, I'm a fraud too. I don't know anything. Like these players, I know Kool Ace just qualified for the Global Gauntlet, and we'll leave it at that. And other players are, well, Kiki was there too. Like, good players, but the last I've heard of them, like on the aerial, was like a bajillion years ago, back when I was still playing the video game. So what I know is outdated as hell.
Yeah. And again, it's like, I recognize a lot of these players, and I am able to recognize that like these are like good players, you know. I just don't know more specifically beyond that. But I do believe, as we're still here, seeing if the look-in is a possibility here. Word from the street just came in. It's a 1-1 game right now for either side. So this might be. We genuinely might have to still get our genuine full block from how long the set's taking.
You know. That works. And it's going to be the good sets, too, because we're in semis, so we got no more quarterfinals O2s. 1-1. Second game going to Twin Turbo, so yeah. God, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the this is okay, so the same thing as what I said last time. Like they picked Orange Cat Supremacy picked the heavy splatling for Umami Zones, they won that, and then they picked it again on Chip Shape and they lost that. We've never seen this before, so that just happened again, and I wonder how the rest of the set's going to go. Yeah, I know on the side of Orange Cat Supremacy, I'm pretty sure Atlas is going to be playing that Splatoon Stamper. Don't know if they're still on it, because that gun is like a Sisyphean challenge right now, and I'm like in agony trying to play that thing. But that's what they were good at before, and I think they're still going to be playing. I already forgot who Zog was. I know what team they're on, but I don't know what they play. Blaster! Oh wow. It's like Buzz Lightyear in that, like on the shelf, and there's like 400 of them. But I mean, they play the gun good, so I think they're allowed to stand out from the rest of the shelf. Because like second and Luigi did one big accomplishment. I'm not gonna say it's just Buzz Lightyear. This is Buzz Lightyear. But there's like 50 proper, bajillion. You know? There's like 50 bajillion short blasters now, so you know.
Well, I remember when I used to play Blaster.
I didn't know you played the game.
I did for short stints. You know how long my career was? I did do that, huh? No, I had like a 3-month stunt playing the game at the very beginning of this of Splatoon 3. As soon as that fell apart, I went straight into commentary because I realized I was not built for this.
Alright, so we've gotten word that Justin Pipe Dream DX will be playing on the side of, I don't know, but we will be getting POV gameplay from our producer shortly. So we're gonna watch this guy frag like crazy. Oh, they can't.
Get ready for DivX gameplay, folks. Like
that's what the DX stands for, just so you know.
Division X. I wish I could be there. No, not really. God, no.
No, you don't. You're gonna play 0 matches in 7 weeks.
That's crazy.
They don't schedule a thing, and then they're like, "We get an extra week, and then we're gonna subtweet you on Twitter.com." That's how it goes. And I'm not saying this because they don't
best here.
So.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, that was it.
That was it. Okay. Well, anywho, you know, we're gonna be popping into this game just a short second here. It's Clan-Bit Scorch Guard. You already seen it. We already said what we thought of it. I think it's. I don't know. I really don't know why I feel about this stage specifically. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Yeah, I mean, we got like all the maps are like straight from the crack, so we're gonna be seeing like one of the only good Clan Blitz stages here, being Scorch Gorge. Talked about it a million times, probably on every single SOS cast ever, so I'm not too concerned with it. Especially because we don't even know what like the guns they're playing. Like we know there's gonna be Prosper on the heavy splatling, and I don't know what the backline counter on Twin Turbo is gonna be, so we'll find out in like now.
Yeah. Already heading in here, we're seeing exactly what lineups we're working with here. Nothing too out of the ordinary from one side or nor on the other side. I say that and then it just hit me, the heavy splatling and dynamo combo. I don't know how I missed that on the preview there.
The world is healing. There is no Sniper Rider 5H in this lobby. I kind of like this. Like, usually you think of Dynamo Heavy and like, okay, well, that's going to get checked by a Charger, but there's no Chargers, so Dynamo Heavy, I think, is going to be an excellent combination, especially going with the support of the Forge and, you know, the chip damage from Blaster. It's going to be super nice pick. Not if you go down, though.
Yeah, sort of getting called out there by immediately that misposition there. We do see it's still a bit of a stalemate from either side, constantly taking back and forth trades. There's no one on top just yet, but Loser does pop the Ultra Stamp to try and force their way in. Doesn't find anyone, forces it to jump out. Is now already moving up that ramp to potentially try and contest it, but the Booyah does push Prosper out from the mid tower here, and it's still just a neutral game at this point.
No, not anymore. 2 down gives them a lot of space to move up if they take it. Let's go forward a little bit. Thank you. So now we're pushing up on this ramp. We got Cool Ace on that Forge Pro. I'm only assuming because the cross is in the guy's name. And, you know, 2 down again. So they're kind of staggered, but you got to find the clams to make this fall.
Where's your clam?
There we go. All right. First break of the basket going over to Twin Turbo. They're going to be the ones to start here. They're 2 down again, by the way. Like, they've been staggering them excellently, so it's going to be a decent hold as long as they don't get picked off here. I mean, they also have to ferry the clams over, so someone's going to go back and grab those. Bonk going down probably is going to spell the end of the push here, but that Booyah might be able to sustain properly.
I don't think so at this point. You don't really have the clan economy to be able to support that push. And one thing from Twin Turbo is that they had a really good opening, had a potential possibility to actually get a lot of clams, but it just they didn't have any clams at the moment there, so they kind of just floundered about a bit, and just only taking the 62 points remaining on their side there. It's not bad by any means, but it definitely could have been a lot more devastating, which I'm sure Orange Cat Supremacy is grateful for. But no, as they're trying to re-engage here, pushing them back, Prosper gets one, maybe another. That's a good second pick there. That's a good swing for Orange Cat Supremacy to get their push going.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, I was like busy watching. I hadn't formulated a thought before you gave the mic to me. Snap coming in from, I think this is Atlas, so it's going to be probably the start of their first push, but they don't really have many resources to break in further, so someone's have to shoot someone in quick. That Dynamo is going to be holding this area very, very nicely, so they're going to have to get past Bonk. I mean, I don't think they're going to be able to. The basket's going to close like right now. They're all back to the mid, so I guess they're going to give up and give Twin Turbo a free power plant here.
Yeah, again, on this side, it's just the fact that there was a good push and a good potential possibility for a lot of points on their hand, but they just didn't have the clan colony ready at the moment, so they just didn't score as much as they would have liked there. And now Twin Turbo is looking to try and push Orange Cat Supremacy back. Now 2 going down, potentially 3 going down. That's a huge swing on their favor to get these clams to the other side to be able to get a huge cash out this time around.
They're gonna get like 3 balls in there. If someone picks up that pity, this is gonna be like at least 2.
Yeah.
Second ball has hit the clan basket. Nice pick from Blaster there, and continue to follow up from Bonk. I mean, it might be over. One more pick, and it's probably dead.
Yes, there's the other pick. Yeah, I think that's the game.
Please, someone.
No one. Any clams? Hello?
Okay.
Yeah, wow. I mean, Twin Turbo there saw the opportunity there, and with those that initial triple in mid there really opened them up to be able to just walk in and just keep the fort held down, especially with Bonk playing under that ledge, getting applying a lot of pressure and getting a lot of picks from there as well. It just kind of really solidified their push.
Yeah, I mean, Orange Cat Supremacy, like, they weren't, like, feeding per se, but they were, like, staggering like crazy in that first push. Like, there was very little reason for it to get to 60, and it was only once they took out Bonk, who was holding the left side alone, probably missed the flick on Dynamo. Yeah, that's when they were able to get back in, so... Yeah, I don't know how that first stagger happened, but if they... Well... I'm not gonna say if they just play better. That's like dumb analysis. But yeah, like they were going to like 2 down in packs, and then they go 2 down, 2 down, 2 down that like maybe 4 or 5 times in a row. So that was pretty detrimental and ultimately cost them.
Yeah,
I think that was like a thing in general, like throughout all the fights during the game. I don't know, they would just like trickle like flies, and I think it's just because they were able to like isolate them one by one. Like in that last push, they had the blaster like isolated all the way on the left side, trying to like hold that ledge, but then like they got separated from the rest of the team, and then once they fell, then everyone else falls. Like dominoes.
Yeah. No, Orange Cat Supremacy definitely did struggle a lot with just their presence in the map in general. There wasn't really any point where I felt like I saw the entirety on their side, unless it was like towards the beginning when they were actually able to stop that initial push from Twin Turbo. But you know, this kind of fell apart a little bit afterwards, anyways. So heading into game number 4, tower control, Hagglefish Market. I think here now more than ever is definitely a map where you don't want to be staggering, because it could spirals. We actually saw it in the last set, right? Once you start staggering a little bit, you don't give yourself the time and space to recover, it can go sideways so fast.
Yeah, the 2 places I'm looking to see these teams control are going to be that top right area by that first checkpoint and also the tent. So if they're able to get that, especially with the Dynamo, like you get that Dynamo into that top right, it's like high key over for you, because how do you approach that ledge anymore? You don't, and then you die. So I'm looking to see them smuggle Bonk up there and see, Dubs! Yes, yeah, we get to see the sniper coming out from Atlas. This comp's kind of freaky now. I feel like it's lacking a little bit in paint. Like, Pen, 50 bajillion paint nerfs, 96 is like a decent support, but it's like only barely paint sufficient itself, and Blaster's obviously doing nothing. So, yeah, they're gonna have to definitely like find these picks at a range and, you know, play to range of the weapons. I mean, that's a good start.
Yeah, I guess start
that's a great start.
Side. Yeah, that tag team there of Atlas and Zwag being able to actually clear 2 Twin Turbos, potentially try and stagger them at least a little bit and get them off kilter as they get their own push going here. Now we see the Blaster dueling with one another on the left-hand side, going down as well. Booyah Bomb thrown, and that's going to be a good first push here to potentially take this first checkmate, maybe without any issues here.
Okay, never mind smuggling Bonk up there. Now we're talking about sneaking Dog into that Zog into that top right, so it's gonna be super good. Like they got that slash down too, so this could be pretty bad. Like it's gonna come out now and it's gonna not trade out Kiki, so who knows? We're still gonna break that first checkpoint and get another pick. Wait, this is gonna keep going here.
Tower. No one's on the tower. They have a good hold here, only finally going down from Twin Turbo. That could have been a few extra points on their side to potentially maybe secure themselves a solid lead over Twin Turbo. But the recovery here does mean that Orange Cat Supremacy is pushed back at least a little bit. They have to respect the incoming players here from Twin Turbo here. And now back in the neutral state, we see one player on the right-hand side, one player on the left-hand side. Maybe a pincer maneuver from Orange Cat Supremacy if they play their cards right. Gets called up. Booyah Bomb is forced out, but the dump out means that they're safe. But no, jumps right into the Booyah Bomb.
Back then, that Kraken got an excellent pick onto Bonk, so that's gonna like fry their cooler rotation. It's gonna come out now, but that's like super delayed, and I mean, I guess they didn't need it because they did that first fight. So they're gonna be the ones moving up to that first checkpoint now, but you know, well, too late. But it was a good pick back then.
Yeah, a good pick does lead them to being able to actually try and go for this first checkpoint here. Zog getting called out here, takes the Dynamo down with them. First checkpoint is cleared, and now the question is what is Twin Turbo going to do after this? Are they going to try and force themselves some more points? They do have the lead, and Prosper is going down. I don't think Prosper should have been down there in the first place, as they're now forced down by Zog. And what's going on?
Oh, it's gonna be really bad. That bubble and tower, they're at least gonna break that second checkpoint, and if they get like 2 more picks off of this, and keep going. Bonk's gonna take that top right now, exactly what I was looking for. So okay, well, but I was concerned about what's gonna happen there once they got that Dynamo into that top right area.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Orange Cat Supremacy does know that's exactly what they want to do here. They're playing their cards in order to try and prevent Bonk from setting up there. And now that Twin Turbo is kind of fleshed out, Orange Cat Supremacy is using their spots to try and keep them in check, allowing the tower to reset back to mid here as they're taking space, painting up a bit more, and they're getting ready for the next team fight here between the 2 teams. Twin Turbo does have tactical at the ready, though, but Orange Cat Supremacy has their own tactical as well. Booyah Bomb being thrown out here to try and disrupt that line from them, being able to push this tower even further, forcing to jump out as well. This is a good push coming in from Orange Cat Supremacy.
Yeah, 23 is an excellent lead by Twin Turbo, but it's not an unbeatable lead by any means. Like, if they haven't touched that third checkpoint, that third checkpoint is the most difficult one to break, so, you know, it's not over yet. But they're going to have to start here by claiming this top right area, and somebody needs to go ahead of Prosper. Like, Prosper being the first up here, getting a nice pick on the Bonk. Like, that's going to be free, so Alex can go run up. Another pick? So this is really good control. Like, a third one goes down. There's still Atlas in the top right with the sword being a nuisance. Another one goes down.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it might be over.
Yeah, I think there's not much you can do here if you're Twin Turbo. You can try and force these fights, but they're so in favor of Orange Cat supremacy right now that they could just keep getting these trades and keep riding the tower over to the victory here. They're just not going to be able to close the distance in time. That third checkpoint go, but Sleepy does go down. He sees it here with the blaster as well, being able to finally try and save their team from anything and everything, but there's still players from Orange Cat supremacy finally going down. That's a delayed wipe on Turbo Tower. Twin Turbo has to push this tower as far forward as they can in order to try and stay alive or try and take the set here and now.
Okay, 6 is a demonic lead. Like, that is super hard to break. Like, you might as well KO the game at that point. So it's going to be a really tough path for Twin Turbo to, get the win here. But, okay, there's a Booyah ready and there's a Kraken ready. I think it might be. All Atlas has to do is hold that Booyah Bomb and not die for the next 30 seconds as long as they don't manage to get the lead before then. And they win the game. So Atlas moving up here, jumping out smartly, saving that Booyah Bomb, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Twin Turbo's trying to force everything they can to maybe get an overtime scenario happen in their favor, but it's not looking good here. One by one, they're falling. Orange Cat Supremacy has a solid hold here in men, especially with that Booyah Bomb. And oh no, gets taken out though. That could be a huge swing to potentially open up this overtime victory here, especially with Zog going down as well. This could be a big swing on their side. Twin Turbo, recognizing the situation, has their gas put on the pebble here, but Sleepy with the Kraken is going to try and dance on the tower to push him off, and they do get the pick, securing their victory here.
Okay, that was high-key scary. I thought that Sleepy's going to get launch over the edge and go take a bath, but the Kraken is going to secure the game for them, and we're going to game 5.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, that if I was Twin Turbo there, I would have been losing my mind at that point. You saw victory at the ready there. The possibility was there, but when you look at the enemy team and you realize the specials they have in an overtime scenario, the Kraken, the Booyah Bomb, it's kind of doomed to begin with. But you still gotta try, because what's better than you just gonna see see overtime and be like, oh well, we can't do this because of just the situation of it. Just let it go,
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, it was a pretty good attempt by them. They got 3 down and they get all the way down to the 40-point mark. Obviously, they've been there before, but they almost made it back. But TC is one of the modes in this game. So with the specials online and at the ready for Orange Cat Supremacy, sealed the deal. And yeah, I was looking at Atlas to use that Booyah Bomb to be the one to finish that game, but Kraken worked just fine. A little bit scary, but they got the job done. So maybe on to Zones and Mako Mart. Not sure what we're gonna do. I think that Kraken is pretty pivotal. Like I said during the game that the Kraken was disrupting their cooler flow, getting picks onto Bonk in the back line. 96 is not so good here. Or so I'm told. My friend Kaisa says, wow, I hate this gun on Mako Mart because there's no sight lines for me to use and I have to be god on the gun to hit the follow-up shots. So I don't think we're gonna see it here again. Wondering what adaptation they'll bring out. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of error question right now how these teams want to try and close up this game here. We saw scrambles from either side, and even though it can get scrappy, there's the specials from the special usage, I just lost my train of thought. I don't know where it went. I'm sorry. It just completely vanished. I had a thought going.
I see Sleepy has a Rapid Pro Deco on their Sendao, and I think that would be a nice pick here because, you're not fighting. Well, I mean, Rapid is going to depend too, but you're fighting Dynamo and Heavy, and both these weapons kind of get mauled by it. So, if you want to maul them, let's bring out the Rapid Pro. Who's the cooler on that? Rapid Pro and Pen is not that quirky, and Prosper can put on a new pencil as we saw in the last game, so I think that'd be the adaptation I'd make, if any.
Well, we'll
of course, they could ignore me and just stay, and that works too.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So the team I wanted, or was talking about changing stuff, changes nothing, and then the team I wasn't talking about changes everything. So get that vanilla mini Splatling. We're gonna provide a bajillion paint for Bonk, who is usually on the V roller.
Yeah, Twin Turbo just doing a complete shakeup on their side here in this game 5 scenario in order to try and keep Orange Cat Supremacy in check here. Bonk going on the deep end here, going around, gets one, maybe a second pick here. Unfortunately, whiffs here, but gets the jump in. That's a good start for Twin Turbo's push here as they do have control of the zone.
I think still flank behind them. Wait, no, never mind, they jumped out. So yeah, so first control going over to Twin Turbo, not a huge, like, not the safest control ever, but yeah, I mean, they're using specials now, using the Splashdown and the Kraken, so it's going to buy them a little bit of control, but it's not really, like, holding very much for them. It's very much contested now, and that Splashdown is definitely going to bring it back into an interesting state.
Yeah, specials are being traded to try and keep control of the zone, but Twin Turbo is still coming out on top here. Orange Cat Supremacy can't keep up with the pain right now, especially with that mini Splatling with where it's stationed on top of those stacks. It's going to be hard to try and actually fight back against it here, but Sleepy pops the Kraken, going straight for the mini, gets the jump in the process as well, but the mini is not letting it go, finally going down before it rains out, and just like that, Orange Cat Supremacy quickly takes the zone without any issues.
Okay, I'd added the 96. I definitely did not doubt the Kraken. Got pivotal pick onto that mini Splatling, being like the number one painter on their team, letting them lock back in, get control of that zone. So now it's up to them to create that lockout opportunity. I want to see them get under that ledge and stop them from coming back in, but it's a little bit difficult too with that hammer coming out. Now, you do have that splashdown, so it's going to be able to keep them back at bay for a pretty decent amount of time. Unless stock goes, stock goes down here. So, oh no, this goes down by Sleepy. So, 49 points. I think it's going to be lead swap here, no?
Yeah, leads actually going to be swapping here, and now Twin Turbo still struggling to actually be able to break free from this line from Orange Cat Supremacy. But Sleepy is using the Kraken to try and chase down the remaining players of Twin Turbo. 2 players down means that it's going to be a bit of a hard stretch here. They don't have a lot of time to try and fight for the zone here, but the important thing is that the mini Splatling is the one on still alive, but they get shut down immediately, and it's going to be a scramble for the zone to try and take it, and the bubble from Bomb saves the zone and saves their skin alive for just a little bit longer as they're still in this game.
Yeah, one more pick there would have sealed the deal for Orange Cat Supremacy, but Twin Turbo managed to get back in and buys himself another opportunity to, to stay in this game. I mean, this is an excellent position for Box getting in that ledge and expertly jumping out as soon as they realize their position's in compromise. But that's going to allow them to walk back in because they were the only one controlling that freezer area. But now with that mini Splatling on the right stack, this is a pretty tough position for Orange Cat to push into.
Yeah, a lot of the pressure comes from Chrome here with the mini Splatling, able to put out so much plate, so much pressure, so much firepower at any moment. And I don't think Orange Cat Supremacy has the players up to be able to take the zone in time. They do have the 3-man advantage over here, but Chrome is trying to fight as long as they can to keep the zone for as long as they can to buy the remainder of the team as much time as they can to be able to regroup here. And now with the 2-point differential, this could be anyone's game at this point. Orange Cat Supremacy has a lot of penalty points to get through here, but Twin Turbo is at the advantage if they can get the mini Splatling in the proper position.
2-point differential, a minute 30 left on the clock. I mean, this is about as close as it gets for game 5. I mean, there's a lot of specials ready. First one comes out with the bubble from Bonk, and it's going to get the kill on Atlas, so this is probably going to be a nice secure of the zone, and they do manage to extra secure it with that splashdown, putting Orange Cat Supremacy back in the, back foot. Yeah,
and now we're seeing Twin Turbo setting themselves up for yet another hold here. Prosper getting caught out here, does jump before they can get compromised, which is good for Orange Cat Supremacy to keep their pressure upcoming here. But Twin Turbo has the tactical, has the positioning, has the paint advantage over Orange Cat Supremacy. They don't have a lot of time to, they want to try and break through here to go for the zone here. We do see the blast go down. Booyah Bomb is ripped off here to try and go for the zone here to try and neutralize at the very least. Splash down to control of the zone means that Orange Cat Supremacy is not letting go just yet, and Twin Turbo is now at a player disadvantage here. But Chrome with the soldier snap finds one, finds two, and flips his fight before going down. They're not going anything go just yet, folks, as Twin Turbo is fighting tooth and nail to stay alive.
They are not done yet. That's an excellent snipe onto Prosper with that hammer. I mean, it's gonna definitely lose them so much stability, and you can see that in them losing the zone as Zog getting cornered out there on the bottom right. Doesn't matter though, just gonna hit that shot and get them out of there. So they're still alive. I mean, on the other side, other blasters going crazy, getting a pick onto the jump, and I mean that smash gonna buy them one more cap to zone, but it's kind of fragile right now. That double might be catastrophic.
Yeah, no, it could be white, but oh my goodness, that ending was as close as you could have gotten from either side, but the wipeout at the end just sealed the deal for Orange Cat Supremacy. And I was kind of scared for them too, because the mini flattening was still up at the end there, so it would have been so hard for them to be able to fight against that all that paint here in mid without the paint. Were really, oh my goodness.
Loki Dark, can you like talk for 20 seconds while I run and get water?
I got you, Ellie. No. What a close match that was from Twin Turbo and Orange Cat Supremacy. Twin Turbo does come out on top, heading into grand finals, sending Orange Cat Supremacy down to our third place match against Where Is Bounce Flame. I forget the name of that team name there. But now heading to grand finals, Twin Turbo against Doom Desire. We've seen both of these teams. We've seen both of these sets here. Now I'm eager to see exactly how this all ends here and now.
I was looking forward to Orange Cat Supremacy winning that set because I know that we'd get the Atlas versus Bubble set, and I know they're good friends. So, yeah, would have been a nice grudge match. Definitely going to be was going to be a source of rivalry later. But yeah, I mean, I think Twin Turbo, I don't know what the seeds are. Let's take a look. Twin Turbo being the first seed, slated to be here, so expect to see them here. And I don't know. Oh, okay. Seed 2 got upset in round 1, so I guess they're the next in line. And yeah, we got pretty much what the seed are slated. Shout out to Never Lucky and friends for seeding. So, yeah, what we got? Zones Haggle, Clan Museum, TC Undertow? Clan Zumami and Zones. This is actual like straight from the crack. This is probably the worst I've seen. Wow. Alright, we got like something nice enough for round 1. Round 2 is debatable. It's like on the good side debatable. Steaming pile of stage for round 3, and round 5, if we get to a game 5, is I hate Shift Shaped Cargo Company with like all my heart. So we have some choice stages here coming up. Twin Turbo's coming off of game 5 win. They probably got that adrenaline going. Doom Desire, we watched them like half an hour ago, so maybe they're a little bit cold now. Knowing players here in IPL tournaments, maybe they're in X rank, and that they might delay by a few minutes because they were trying not to get cold and they were still playing the video game. So we'll have to see here.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes out. But no, yeah. Starting things off with Zones Hagglefish Market. It's a map we see all the time, you know. I don't think there's much more I could say or add to at this point that hasn't already been said up to this point, you know. It's just kind of...
Oh.
Yeah?
Kind of. I think this is going to be like one of the worst Zones games ever seen, because we're about to see heavy splatling versus heavy splatling matchup. They're probably never going to walk up past the zone once, and they're going to get like 4K paint, and it's going to be incredible to see. It's not actually going to happen, but I am curious about the stats afterwards. And it was POV streaming, which is what I was just looking for, which is horrific. So we're going to have to have Justin leave the lobby if we want those stats, or we don't get them at all. So yeah, one of them. But I'm very curious to see what the paint differential will look like on this first stage, just because this is like probably the friendliest backline map of all time, especially when it's uncontested. Like on both sides, you're going to be bringing up that heavy splatling unless Prosper goes to the pencil or Bubble goes to the pencil. But you know, their starting comps both times were with that heavy splatling. I assume that's what they want to pick. So if that happens to be the case, which I think will be the case, being a zones map, the stream is frozen. I think our producer died. Never mind, that was me. Yeah, I think that paint is going to be brutal.
Wow, so quick to blame the producer for what?
Okay, I thought it was Justin, and then I realized it was me, so I'm the fraud. It's the other producer that died.
Throwing your own under the bus is crazy.
Like it's doggy dog world out here.
Oh, but yeah, yeah.
Paint the game here. And with a composition with brush and try, where you absolutely have to get painted in to be able to like even scratch the opponent, I think that playing into this composition is going to be a little bit difficult. I was thinking this earlier. Playing into the Dynamo too. Okay, so Dynamo like absolutely mauls Zipcaster. Like I hate playing that against that gun.
Yeah.
Unideal. And being like I play sword, so I can like at least poke the Dynamo, but He has on brush, so it's going to be definitely difficult for them to approach with. And then try got the fizzies, but there's not much that they can do with their main weapons up until some window of opportunity opens for them to move in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it could be a bit difficult here, but it's hard to say. You know, I lost it. Again, I lost it. I had a long day, folks. I just came back from a 9-hour shift, so that's
and
my
then the
excuse here.
I'm employed and you're not, so I wouldn't know. Yeah.
No, I just completely lost the train of thought. But no, I'm especially with that last match. I'm kind of eager to see exactly how these two teams clash. A bit of a tug on corners, knowing that or thinking that it might be just a heavy action on the zone, just constantly pitting over one another. But I think that'll at least leave some room, some opportunity for the remainder of the teams from either side to be able to try and shake things up a little bit with whatever they are bringing to the table. But then again, there's also the Dynamo most likely coming out. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Well, a lot of this is riding on whether or not they bring the weapons we actually think they're going to bring.
Yeah, I mean, we could also just see pencil versus pencil, and I could make policy on like so. Actually, no. Well, hold on. I think pencil right now is in a position where it's like forced to play more aggressively, and then when your shooter's core is more of the backline, if anything, and that shift damage from the pen is more valuable than the minuscule amount of paint that you get out of the pen. Okay, interesting matchup. We're not going to see the Dynamo, so these short-range weapons are going to have a bit of an easier time, and I think that Swag is going to have an excellent time this match, going to be able to check every single aggro weapon with with relative ease, being Nautilus with the range. Never mind, they died off screen. So
yeah, I guess they were trying to get an early flip on their side, but it doesn't turn out too well for their side, as now Twin Turbo is at a good position here to get those few points out the gate. 49er pop Zipcaster to try and use that special to leverage a fight in the favor, but gets caught out. And now another player getting picked out. Twin Turbo has a really hold and lead here.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty shaky opening, but I'm securing it. Like, I don't know. We tried making plays, like Swag was flanking left, and then the brush was on the right side, and both, like, I think just a minor mechanical fumble. So, they still have what it takes to get back in here. We have the splash online from Doom Desire, so I think it's probably what's going to open the door for them. Now that I look at it, they don't really have many opportunities to just like force fights. Like they have to shoot them.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it is the name of the game, just shoot at them, and it's hard to say if it's going to be their prerogative to be able to actually win those shoot at them moments there. But Twin Turbo is still coming out on top, 3 down, wipeout. That's going to be a devastating blow on Doom Desire, as Twin Turbo is already running up to the enemy plat to be able to take control and take hold, especially Pencil setting up on top of those boxes. This is going to be hard to try and push through without those specials.
I just realized that Tan is LARPing as a player for Sentinels. Yeah, so they're going to be able to walk back in here with relative ease, but they have to make sure that blaster doesn't get in. I'm watching a PowerPoint right now, so Alright, hold on. There we go. You got a brush, you got a wiper, or something on the bottom right. You got this. I can't see him. Yeah. No. 49er
goes in on the back end to try and pull the attention from Twin Turbo, but it's not enough as they're picked out, and Twin Turbo still control of the zone here. 8 ticks remaining and control of the zone. Bubbles drops down to try and go for a last ditch effort to flip the zone, and almost gets it, but there's too many players from Twin Turbo still remaining, and they are able to secure that victory without any issues.
Okay, this is like kind of what I meant. Like, they have the specials that rely very much like on yourself, like the splashdown. You have to get into an ideal position, and the Zipcaster gotta, shoot them yourself, but better. Like they don't have the options like strikes or crab and like even slider, like the conventional options that break you back in that zone, like common retake specials. Not even that, like a hammer. So it's very much up to them to, break their own path back into the game, and it just didn't happen. Playing Plants Museum is a whole different game now, especially because it's relative to your I think the word's like, I'm gonna say pace, because like you have to like build to push yourself versus just like holding the zone and just holding it forever. So I think that the weapons that Doomsire brings out will have a much better time, especially in this mode, but also on this map too, just because they can play those like it's a very vertical map and all the weapons thrive there, bar the two Splatwings. So I guess just the two front ones.
Yeah, I mean, the other side of this as well is just the fact that Twin Turbo just is coming off hot from that game fight set. It's hard. We don't know if Doom Desire has been staying warm on X rank or not. So that could have very well just been like, okay, getting back in the swing of things, this game will go better because we are now more properly in tune with how we're going to be playing and how we're going to be fighting here moving forward here. But no, Clan Blitz Museum Dolphins, I think it could be in favor for Doom Desire just by what they brought from last game alone. There might be some weapon changes up, yes, but I think at the very least, that not could be pivotal here if they can play their cards right.
Low-key, I hope they bring out the red pen again. I think that it'd be a solid choice. Like the rain is like perfectly shaped and sized to clear that entirety of that plat area. So I think that it would be, a decent option for them to break in with, especially droplet of healing it's going to give too. To knock out those front lines and get them in and take this fight with a little bit more ease. So we'll have to see what they do here. Of course, they can ignore me with just like the last set and pick the same guns as before, but already see some. Are we? No, we're not. Hey, there it is.
Oh, there it is. Right on the money. Bubbles comes back with that red pencil here, using that ink storm to try and leverage a lot of these pushes in their favor here, as well as heal their allies up to the best they can, of course. That's always a big factor here. But out they bonk, it's two. That's a huge swing on their side for Twin Turtle to be able to try and secure mid, but Bubbles holds it strong here in mid before the flank from the right-hand side comes down and shuts them down.
Losing the rain though, and the nice flank and our chip assisting the flank from Zena, so that's going to be pretty solid for them, making them lose that special. Not what you ever want to do, losing that whole special meter. But I mean, they kind of relinquished all the space. Like they had the clams and they had the positioning, and then kind of walk backwards to deliver that clam. So I mean, it doesn't really matter because we're two down again. We're going to be able to make that push, but we could be a lot further right now, I think.
Yeah, no, it was a bit of a lost opportunity there for Twin Turbo to be able to capitalize as much as they could have there. But at the end, though, they still managed to just swing by and get one power climb into the clan basket. Getting those first 20 points here, I don't think they would be in position to be able to score anything else other than those initial 20 points here, as Twin Turbo is still just kind of stuck in mid with Doom Desire just holding it down on Spinner here. And with that clan basket now protected here, they're looking to try and push Twin Turbo back even further, especially with the flank there. That's a good start to get things back in the neutral state. Now moving up with that, we see Bonk on the Spinner there. Potential jumps in. I can't tell. No, they do get the pick on. Okay, there's the jump in, and Twin Turbo's going to be able to get a big cash in here, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to get them down to 55 points. It's just like low-key not an incredible lead. It's just like a lead, but yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if it's worth exerting all the effort. Like, now they have the entirety of the control of Twin Turbo's plat, and they have resources to continue this push as well as a huge clan economy. And we see Tan on the left side checking block, making sure that they don't get a flank, watching that drop. So they're in a pretty solid position here. It's strong.
Yeah, a good recovery from that initial push from Twin Turbo. Doom Desire now using that Ink Storm there to be able to enable their own push here. Goes down for a 1-4 trade, 2 down from Twin Turbo. Means that Doom Desire has opportunity here to go in and get the first clam into the clam basket here. The question is, can they follow it up with additional clams? It's going to be a hard thing. Bonk is there on the Spinner, comes up, gets one down, and now there's just going to be searching for scraps from Doom Desire, but the timer runs out, and the clam basket is protected once again, and Twin Turbo secures their own Spinner.
This is low-key horrific. We brought like 3 balls in there and we got one of them. So all that, every single special, pain in the face, all that burnt just to get 20 points? Unideal. Like, you've exerted all that effort and you're giving them a free clam. So this, I feel like Twin Turbo won out of them being pushed somehow. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that definitely was the best case scenario for Twin Turbo, how they are able to recover that there. And a good hammer throw there enables them to be able to play a little bit more aggressively there without the Nautilus getting the brush as well. Bonk doing their namesake and just bonking people with the roller. Unfortunately, gets caught out there, but it still opens up for the remainder of the team to come in, potentially try and go for a last-ditch effort throw there, but is caught up before they can actually get the ball formed in time. And now Doom Desire is setting themselves up in mid, pushing Turbo back bit by bit.
Yeah, Twin Turbo overexerted a little bit, and that's going to open the door wide open for Doom Desire to start their first real push. Bonk's right behind them. That take down one, does not get the second, so it's, Doom Desire still in the game here. But, I mean, they're 2 clams away from the lead. I don't know if Tan's going to be able to sneak in. Not really worth it. So it's going to be 55-58 now. Doom Desire looked great there. Had, like, such a strong position, and then Bonk just got in and hit him over the head, and it was just over.
Yeah, that was a good recovery from Bach to be able to prevent that lead from potentially getting swapped there. And now there's 1 minute left in this game. Twin Turbo has good control over mid here. They have Tactical, or they have a Clan Conley. One mistake from Doom Desire could really be their doom here. We see one pick from Bach with Tans on the left-hand side. Does come up from the flank, getting caught out eventually though. And now Twin Turbo is playing it safe, playing it patiently. They don't need to extend too much here if they don't have to. They can try and stall it out if they want, but I don't think that's what they want to do here, especially with that throw from the mini Splatling. And now Bunk pummeled up under the tower, under the basket there. 2 jumps in. That's going to be a huge cash in for them, but they missed the ball!
Okay, like, excellent plays up until when it mattered. So now it's going to be Doom Desire in the driver's seat, able to start that push. But Bonk gets in again, gets 2 with the help of teammates, and like they barely get the lead here. But like then again, they made it onto the plat, scratched the basket, and that's how they going into overtime for Twin Turbo. Like all they need is like a power climb and some change. Like this is not a secure push in the slightest. I mean, Zena goes down on the blaster. Oh, Zena. Who was that? No, it wasn't. Like they go down the blaster, so that's pretty bad for them. The box sneaks in. Wait, watch the block.
Yeah. Bonk is over there under the ledge, gets 1. Can they get another? No, they get called out, but is the path going to be made for them to be able to get that power climb to the plant basket? No, there's not a lot of time left. That's not going to be enough for Twin Turbo to secure that second game here. Doom Desire shutting down that huge push from Twin Turbo is able to ride off that and get enough points to take the lead and just ride their victory from that point onward.
Well, we have our first SOS in like 4 editions where it's not a 3-0 in Grand Finals. Shoutouts to Doom Desire for the second game. Yes, I was like, check it out.
That's crazy.
Oh wait, no, it was just 3. It's just 3. Last one being SOS 222. So yeah, they put a game on the board, and not to say that they were like a huge underdog, or I guess a tiny underdog in this set. Like they are a 3rd seed in this tournament for a reason, but breaking the pattern. I don't know, that game was kind of terrible. Like, no disrespect, but like on both sides, we would like get our foot in the door, and then we'd like, like I don't know, I slathered my hands in oil, and I just like completely dropped the entirety of plat, and we just could not maintain properly. So I wonder how it's going to translate to TC Undertow. Probably not very much, because this mode is like dog and easier.
I mean, it's a whole completely different place, this stage, this mode in particular as well, like, Museum Dolphins, you have to be very mindful, very cognizant as to how you go and how you approach these pushes here. Tower Patrol Undertow Spillway, you just kind of get the... I don't know the best way to put this here, but without, like, oversimplifying it, right? But, like, I just feel like you get the picks... off the initial team fight, you get that second checkpoint, and then if you cycle your specials the right way, you just kind of lock them out and just ride that checkpoint to victory.
Congratulations, you've described every single stage in Splatoon.
That's what I said. Like, I don't know how to describe it without oversimplifying it. Like
that is not Undertow Spillway exclusive, but we're heading into Game 3 here of Grand Finals. No switch ups on the side. I forgot their team name. Then we're gonna keep that pencil. So. Yeah, I think it's a great choice to stick here. That Rain's going to cover all of that mid area, and also Charger in general having that sight line on both left and right side can be pretty good for them. One thing I will note is that Bonk has less opportunities to run in and just smack them on this stage compared to that of Museum Delfonsino, so it's going to be, I think, a little bit nicer for them. I mean, you got domed, so it doesn't really matter. But
yeah, I mean, there's only so much you can do when you just still get picked off right out the gate here, especially right there. Tan's trying to stand their ground, and Bonk is just playing super aggressively there, keeping Doom Desire in check as they're just able to get that first checkpoint, get that second checkpoint. They're really staggered here at this point. Hammer gets thrown here, doesn't find anyone there, but does enough to pressure to keep Doom Desire in check as that second checkpoint is now cleared.
We're about to have that splashdown. Bell's not close to being ready, but this is the right call here. They're choosing to step off that tower and build more resources before continuing their push, or Bonk dies and they're going to choose to back up even further. But, I mean, that splashdown's going to give him a good bit of sustain. Does not manage to find the pick onto Swag on the Nautilus, so, I mean, that's going to be where the first push ends. 43 is not a game-winning lead. It can be, but, like, if Doom Desire locks in, then it's not that threatening. But this is the reverse of being locked in. Bonk gets another pick, hits the murder. That's full wipeout. So Doom Desire in the backseat again.
Yeah, no, this can actually be very devastating for Doom Desire.
Oh my god.
Twin Turbo has they have Bonk at the ready, especially with Bubble. If they can position themselves correctly, especially under those ledges, they can just run away with so many points. But no, they instead opt to use it on the tower just to get the safe points instead. But two still goes down. Fighting is in mid, but you still gotta pay attention to the tower. Already at that third checkpoint, and you still get shut down. That's not the cost with the trade you want to have right here at this point. As Bonk was trying once again to play super aggressively to keep Doom Desire in check, but unfortunately for them, Doom Desire starting to catch on, and it did get them checked out.
Nobody in this game on either team looking at the tower. This is Clan Blitz Part 2. So now that push is not as devastating because it could have been 24, still totally winnable. So Doom Desire is not like out of this game by any means, and that's going to be a great way to start this game, forcing Kiki on the pencil to jump out. Bonk behind you hitting 2 over the head does not get a third. So I don't know. 2v2 right now, it's pretty neutral. See who wins this fight. Looks like no one because they've chosen back off. Good move.
Yeah, a smart move to just sort of back away and not overextend at this very fragile moment on either side here. We do see a bit of a vibe check, I guess. I don't know what happened there.
Yo, that's disrespectful. Seems like right in the set where that's like the craziest aura loss of all time to get drip picked on in the middle of the game. That's
to do that and then go 2 down and you're already starting to lose some of your momentum here as Doom Desire gets their footing here is kind of a crazy thing. But as I say that 3 go down from Doom Desire, Twin Turbo just comes back in, hits twice as hard and just keys. Now the question is, can they get bubbles before they back up too far? It's up to Bonk, but no, they get shut down, and now 2 down for Twin Turbo. Make that 3. Doom Desire once again in the driver's seat here.
That's the worst BM I've seen since Proving Ground 6 back in 2023. They better... Okay. If Twin Turbo does not win the set after doing that, like, that is horrific. And I feel... I don't know. Minute 3 left on the clock. We haven't really seen a good push out of Doom Desire yet. I mean, this is a great start for them. 2 down and pushing that pencil back all the way into the corner. That cooler is going to be pretty inaccessible for Team Twin Turbo to grab. Niners all the way up from their base. What happened?
Yeah, 49er.
Oh my God,
okay. I was yawning. Give me a second, okay?
The game's not that bad.
No, it's not that bad. I had a long day, as we established. No, 49er was there on the deep end trying to pull some attention from Twin Turbo to keep Doom Desire from being able to allow Doom Desire to be able to get that first checkpoint without any issues. And now it's just a bit of a scramble from either side, but Bonk does go down. Doom Desire is starting to get there, looking really good here, heading to that third checkpoint. They back off just for a second, not wanting to overextend here as they want to try and regroup and get 49er back for this incoming push here, but gets shut down with the Zipcaster, and Twin Turbo feeling good about themselves, starting to move up to keep Doom Desire in check, but the rain is out. It's going to be hard to say exactly who can come out on top from this scramble, from this team fight here.
Yeah, I mean, no one really has resources here. Like, the tactical just comes out and the rain's already been used, so there's not much to do besides just shoot them better. And, I mean, with 10 going down the Tri-Slasher and Swag being alone here in this corner, the dual specials come out, I mean, oh, okay, that's so unfortunate.
Oh, the direct of a blaster is in a fate no one can escape here, as Doom Desire is still not letting go of this push just yet. It's going to be going into overtime here in just a second, folks, but it's not a good overtime scenario for them, as Twin Turbo has control of the tower. It's a mad dash for the tower from Doom Desire, but they get wiped out instead, and then now Twin Turbo is up 2-1 against Doom Desire.
Okay, if you're Doom Desire, you better Gentle Days reverse this, because you just got, like, drip picked on in the middle of the game, and this would be like devastating to lose in that fashion. So we're definitely gonna see them try to come back here.
That was horrific.
That BM is crazy. Anyways, Clan Blitzing Mummy Ruins. I think we're about to like lose this 3-1. Like Bonk and that roller is going to get like the stupidest flanks known to man, and then it will be over. So how do we check Bonk? What do we do to shoot Bonk better? What's the play here?
Well,
He
What
bumped
you
it bad
do?
so bad.
Listen, well, chill on me, man. I think what Doom Desire can start doing better, is painting a lot more. The roller is a very hardline aggressive weapon, and it requires like a lot of paint to be able to succeed in what it wants to do here. And the thing is that you have a tri-slosher, a brush, and a Nautilus. Like, yeah, the Nautilus can outrange it, but you don't really have a lot of extra supporting paint from the tri-slosher. I mean, maybe from the tri-slosher, depending on who you ask, but definitely not from the octopus, So it's hard to keep up with, especially with the minis landing on the other side that's paired with the roller. You have to be very mindful of your paint and where is painted and who, by who, So I think that's kind of what's getting at them for a lot of these past few games.
I wonder if it's worthwhile for Swag to switch over to that Rain Nautilus with the point sensor and just mark Bonk. If you see him, you can shoot him. So that might be the play. That might make the competition a little bit awkward. Double Rain on the red pen. So let's get Bubbles out of here and let's hop on blue pen. Put it in the bag, buddy. We're actually hitting. Patty's spotting would work pretty nicely here. So yeah, there's options, and I think that sensor. If you can't overpaint the entirety of Twin Turbo.
Yeah.
Location is going to work just fine. I think that's the adaptation that I would make here. Will they? I don't think so, but I would.
Yeah, I mean, this is just the would they, should they, could they, It's hard to say exactly what goes in their minds, especially as people who don't really see these players on a daily basis or like that, so it's hard to say if it's even an option to consider for them. But no, heading into game number 4, folks, Twin Turbo against Doom Desire. Twin Turbo sitting at match point. They could seal the deal here, and it looks like they are kind of in favor with this stage and in this mode combination in mind here. Not changing anything on their side of the load out here, and Doom Desire not.
Hey, did it!
Oh, they did!
I'm so good.
They did!
Wait. Doves. Okay, making the choice that I wanted to see, being able to call out Bonk is going to be crucial for them. I have renewed faith in Doom Desire. Maybe we're going to go to game 5 on the worst map of the game.
Yeah, on top of that, you also have the heavy splatling stacked on top of that, which is a lot better painter than the pencil from before, So it's a lot of good adjustments on their side, but it's still just a bit of a neutral state back and forth from either side, a 2v2 scenario for either team, but it's going to be hard to say who can come out on top here in this incoming fight.
Oh, good jump. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty neutral. The both teams going down 2 in the opening, so no team gets a devastating amount of space. But as we say that, I mean, Twin Turbo now on the back foot, going 2-3 down on their own, but Bonk's behind them, so Bonk might as well be the whole team stopping them in their tracks. That's 3 down again for Doom Desire. So Bonk single-handedly managing to put a stop to that push. Not that Bonk shot the whole team, but diverting that intention, split them perfectly, and now they are the ones in control.
Yeah, I mean, once again, a lot of these changes were most likely made with Bonk in mind to keep them in check, keep them in place, and it's kind of working. They haven't been able to do too much oppressive things against Doom Desire, but again, it's still hard for Doom Desire to get a push going. Only now they're able to break through the line from Twin Turbo, getting postured for their own push here. 49er going on the deep and painting the path for the remainder of their team to be able to get the climb economy in there, but they don't have the power climb at the ready. They have all this space, I have all this positioning, but they're a bit slow on the counter climb. Finally being able to break through, and it makes me wonder if they could have scored a bit more points here on this end, but no, it doesn't matter. They're still getting the picks they need to be able to stay present here.
That's such a good pick, taking out the splashdown, making sure that they don't have that resource to instantly clear that choke. I mean, 2 down now. I mean, 49 is still behind them, but we got to get some clams in. And, it's going to end at 59, which is not at all a safe push for playing with Tsunami Ruins. So with 3 minutes left, it's now Twin Turbo's opportunity to make a push here. They have that bubble at the ready, so I think that can be a good resource for them to get in. And now the cooler is online, so we're about to see some action coming out of Twin Turbo.
Yeah, this is a good opportunity here for Twin Turbo
God.
to try and even the scale as we see 49er down Bonk under the ledge, looking at the heavy splatling. Can they get the pick? It's hard to say, but the remainder of Twin Turbo is looking at 10s here, trying to make sure they don't get caught out under the ledge, get shut down now, and 3 players in the mid platform here. 49er going on the deep end, finds one. Can they find another one?
Another drip pick.
Stop the push here. They do get another one. Was that another drip pick?
Yes. Brother, what are we doing? Okay, we cannot lose to the double drip pick strat. That would be absolutely horrific. Now it's Doom Desire's opportunity to get in here. I don't know. They're kind of like playing with their food right now, and it would be horrific if that's how they go down. So, I mean, they're in a decent position right now. They have to call out Bonk, make sure Bonk doesn't get that pick. Doesn't get the pick on the bubbles, and that's going to be so bad for their sustain. It's not over. There's still 3 members up on Doom Desire, so they are still able to get this push if they are able to stop that mini splatling, especially holding that choke perfectly. So, yeah, have to get some kills or use some specials to get some space here.
Yeah, I mean, Twin Turbo, a bit of an awkward place. They don't really have a lot of breathing room on their side as 49er pops up caster to pull the decision away from the front line. Gets 1-for-1 trade there, which could open up Doom Desire to be able to come and get the power climb into the clam basket and extend their lead even further. We do see those penalty points cleared instantly. Now going down to 38 points remaining on the clam basket here. Twin Turbo has to lock in to be able to try and clear out the remainder of Doom Desire. Bubbles going down, Tan's last player standing, and Clam Basket is back up, but 38 points remaining. That the damage has been done. They don't have a lot of time left to be able to try and recontextualize all this, because you're still struggling against Doom Desire here in mid, you know, and you really need to get a good solid push in to try and at least even the scales.
Alright, we're going to see some lock-in factor coming out of Twin Turbo. No more drip picks. That's going to be a good start, taking down the 2 front lines of Doom Desire and almost getting the back line too. So, I mean, this was their opportunity. Bubbles does manage to get away. There's still an auto to deal with on the right side. Have to take this guy out before moving forward. And Snipe's doing a great job of stalling for time, making sure that they are unable to move in properly. But it's not going to be enough. They realize that they got to take their attention away from the skirmisher. Now 2 down, 3 down again. This is going to be Twin Turbo's first push of the game.
Yeah, first push, but it may not be a pretty one. They don't have too much push power on their side, but a good shutdown there from the mini splatling means that they're able to deposit all their clams here. And now it's going to be a play for how long can Twin Turbo can keep this basket open. We do see the jump in here to deliver some more clams to the clam basket. Lead could potentially get swapped here if they just deposit one more clam, and they could seal the deal here if they just need that one more clam. The jump in comes in, and they're able to take the lead here. There's not enough left for Doom Desire to be able to try and recover this. They need to at least have a power climb ready, but I think they just have the ready. It's right there to just slow it down. But overtime is still caught here. Doom Desire has one opportunity here to stay alive with this game for just a little bit longer. They have the power climb at the ready. They're looking to try and keep Twin Turbo in check here. They do get one player down. Tan's going on the deep end to try and clear the path for the remainder of the team, but there's kind of split part on. They don't have the power climb ready. Forced to jump in here. Are they going to make it in time? And gets thrown in, but it's not enough time. Just a few seconds late, and Twin Turbo wins that game.
That's going to be Twin Turbo taking SS 225. Great white bracket in 3-1 in unfortunate fashion. Oh my god. Saved by the bell. That could have been disastrous. They had so many clams, they had resources to get that push going, but like literally one frame off, and they aren't able to secure the game. So that is going to be the tournament going to Twin Turbo. That was disrespectful as hell. I said they needed to get some lock-in factor. They leaned forward in the game chairs in wise words of Pop Gun. So, yeah, man. I mean, lock-in they did, and tournament goes to them.
Yeah. Yeah, huge congratulations for Twin Turbo. 3-1 over Doom Desire makes them your victory here today. But I'm not over that last minute victory, or last saved by the bell victory there from them, because that genuinely could have gone so wrong for them if Doom Desire was just literally frames faster. Oh my goodness.
You know, I thank Nintendo's dog-ass netcode for saving us from seeing Ship-Shaped Cargo Company, so we are free from that Game 5. Speaking of Game 5s, we are looking at the 3rd place match with Orange Cat Supremacy, and where's Bounce? Flame, what was it? I forgot the last word.
Image,
one of them. Flame Text.
Flame Text, yeah.
Yeah, going to Game 5 on the company at the moment, so yeah, see how that turns out. But as for our grand set, tournament going Twin Turbo, someone's had to take him down a peg. Like, you feeling confident enough to take the drip pick mid-game, mind you, mid-push even. Like, that's horrific. So we're gonna need like some demons to show up and take the next SOS away from their class. I wonder if they were doing that in the last set too. I couldn't tell.
I couldn't tell either. I couldn't tell that.
I don't know if it's more disrespectful, this or the duck motif random weapon 3. Anyway.
Anyways, I do believe that ends our vlog here, Ellie, for this SOS. Again, congratulations, Twin Turbo, for your victory here. Really proved you are this week's SOS Grand Champion. But, Ellie, I do think our time is wrapped here. So anything you want to say, add, or close before we wrap it up here?
No, you're pretty damn tired. Heard you sit with your games, so we're gonna get off the mic here and let you go to bed. Yeah, it's an SOS 225. I'm not doing the. Where can the people find you, SPF Dark?
Are you tossing it to me? Okay. SPF Dark on social medias. I'm on the mic a lot, everywhere, anywhere. You're gonna hear me again at some point. TL for Don't Flounder, TL for Anarchy Nova. That's it. That's all I gotta plug.
Yeah. Well, my ad's on screen. We'll see you around next week. Is it next week? Yeah, next week. Goodbye.
Yeah.